Good morning, Westeros.
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast. I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Kyle. And we're your Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got Alayne 2 on deck, a.k.a. Sansa 3. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Battling through adversity.
Yeah, been a while. Jeff's been busy at work.
Sick.
Football season started, obviously. Jeff's sick now, but we're here for you. And we got maybe the heftiest, I think this is the heftiest chapter in all the books.
Was it 36 pages?
For bad reason, too, man. Not a fan. Not a fan of this one. I'm going to come right out and say it. It was like, there's some important stuff obviously happens in it, but it was... It was.
You don't like us coddling Sweet Robin all night long?
Yeah, it was so much of that. Like, why? We already know that he's like this.
It starts out like that, then I think it gets more interesting as it goes on, for sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's long.
I don't think it's interesting till we meet Miranda. I think Randy's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and then it just goes
and then
from there.
And then we
out.
get Peter. So
yeah, and that's like 15 pages in, man.
Yeah, I think we could have cut out the first part or trimmed it down.
This is one that like you kind of mentioned it as we're booting up here, but like we're not here often, so like reminders and some help tying some of these people together is going to help maybe make this chapter be a little better for me, because it was a slog. I was not a fan of this one.
The last even Alayne chapter, I think, was chapter 23 of this book. We're on 41, so that's 20 chapters ish ago, right? That's a lot. That's months for us reading. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that even I wasn't remembering. So I have a few like short quotes from the last Alayne chapter where it's relevant. Jeff also is sharing my notes with it, which is great, because then I can tell you just which quotes to read. Before we get into this chapter, I do have one note that I thought of while I was editing the last Cersei chapter, right? So the Cersei chapter, she goes down below. They're torturing the Blue Bard. I think there was a comment that one of us said that made me think of this. It was like, how much are they really going to believe when this guy shows up, though, like with a missing nipple and what he was like missing an eye or whatever,
clearly tortured,
yeah. And then that's what made me think of Marillion, because Marillion literally showed up clearly tortured, right? He had like an eye patch on. He wasn't walking right. His like fingers were like, I don't think it was clear that he was tortured. They like dressed him up to try and make it he looked as nice as possible, but Sansa was like acknowledging that she because of what she heard, he was like, oh yeah, that all fits, kind of thing. And in that case, they bought what Marillion was saying. It was Nestor, and he bought it because it was good for him to buy. Right?
I would say because it benefited him as well.
Exactly.
Like he definitely had the pot sweet in there. I don't know that he truly believed what he was saying, though, right?
And Nestor and Bronzion, cousins?
Two different, I don't know exactly their relation. They're two different branches.
Not brothers.
Nestor was a lesser branch.
Yeah, okay.
Who basically would have had nothing until Littlefinger gave him.
Miranda is Nestor's daughter?
Daughter, yes. Nestor and Miranda would have had nothing if Littlefinger wouldn't have given Nestor the Gates of the Moon.
Right.
That was that. We kind of talked about this before.
Yep.
That gate, which is the gate, the big house at the bottom, that was always kind of just gone to the heir of the Aarons, right? For a really long time in history. Littlefinger made it now the seat of the lesser branch of the Royces. Exactly. Yep. So, who were the Lords Declarant? They're important in this chapter.
Are they? Yeah, they are. They are for sure. They are Bronzion Royce, Lady Anya Waynwood, Gilwood Hunter, Horton Redfort, Benedar Belmore, and Sidmund Templeton.
Yep, I think it's Simon, but tomato.
Simon's a good name. Caven or Kevin?
Just as a kind of a reminder where we stand with these guys, last Alayne chapter, these guys had come up the mountain. They were pissed at Littlefinger. Kind of one of the guys they brought with him, not actually one of the Lords Declarants, but they brought this guy Lyn Corbray with him. He kind of pulls a sword in the meeting. Littlefinger's like, whoa, that's not cool. And basically he's like, now because that happened, you guys owe me at least a year and I'll pardon you for this crime that you just pulled against me. And they're like, okay. And then late at night, Sansa goes to Littlefinger's like, I need to know what step 2 of the plan. And what Littlefinger says is, Redfort and Waynwood are old. So there's 6 total. And he says, Redfort and Waynwood are old. Jeez, I can't talk tonight. That's not going to be good. We're just starting off too. One or both of them may die. Gilwood Hunter will be murdered by his brothers, most likely by young Harlan, who arranged Lord Eon's death. In for a penny, in for a stag, I always say. Belmore is corrupt and can be bought. Templeton I shall befriend. Bronzion will continue to be hostile, I fear, but so long as he stands alone, there's not much threat. So I bring that up because some of these guys get mentioned in this chapter. So She goes on to talk about Lynn Corbray, the guy who drew his sword in that council, and we kind of learn that
Is that who gets married too?
that's the brother of who gets married. But we learn that the brothers don't really like each other in that last Alayne chapter. But yeah, so that guy, Littlefinger, basically says, yeah, he's in my pocket. The guy who pulled his sword.
Right. It was all fake.
Yeah, it was a part of the plan.
Yes. Yeah, but publicly he hates me and will continue to publicly hate me and join any scheme against me. It's kind of the whole thing. Exactly. So, this chapter, that was all last Alayne chapter. This Alayne chapter, we're waking up Robert. That's the beginning part. Like you guys said, kind of boring.
Yeah, he didn't want to get up. It's too cold. He's got a headache. He threw his shit pot at the maester.
Yep.
Maester Coleman's pissed. Alayne gets sent in to woo him out of bed.
Yeah, so she's like backup, right? She's like the big guns. When Robert's acting up, who you gonna call?
All right, send in Alayne.
Yeah. Well, she has this weird relationship with him for sure, where he is very friendly with her. So
yeah, I guess it's like in a way that no one else can.
She kind of treats him like mom, almost. Yeah. It's weird. It's very strange.
She's like mom / girlfriend / friend too.
Sister. Yeah. It's
sister,
all weird.
Yeah.
All the above. All the companionship.
So they wake up. She goes in and she's like, "Do you remember what day it is?" He's like, "I'm not getting out of bed. Do you remember what day it is? Today's the day we're going down the mountain." Right. That's like the first kind of revelation here. Kyle, did you? I guess like how long did it take for you to figure that out? She kind of alludes to it, I guess, a few times before they actually. When she gets out of the room, it's clear that they're preparing for it. Yeah.
Actually, I thought he was like getting married. It had been so long since we had been with any of these people. I thought that he was getting married or something. Littlefinger had some marriage lined up as part of this, and because like it talks about Maya and meeting her for a little bit here and stuff. I forget exactly where.
It's unclear that we're leaving because it's just too cold, right? Or it's going to be too cold.
Yeah, but right away.
That makes it an awful place to live. Like the Vale's probably pretty cool, but like brutal. You can't even be here in the winter.
Just turns to an icicle.
Yeah, and it's unclear like how lonely and like solemn it is and eerie it is just because Robert's there and because of that everyone's quiet. Like when Robert and Ned were here, was this place awesome? I think we've heard of that before.
They probably just had fun together, and it wasn't wartime, so people were probably coming and going.
Yeah, it wasn't as empty.
Yeah. Yeah, and in this chapter, I was actually wondering, like, it wasn't a great tourney yard. There's nowhere to ride horses up here. Like, I wonder how much time Robert and Ned just spent down at the Gates of the Moon anyway. You know what I mean? Right. Even if it was summertime, because they're like young men. That's what they do is train for that kind of shit. And they could probably do swords up here, but not horses.
I would assume they're down below mostly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I never really thought about it till this chapter, but yeah, I think there's a cool section here. So we learned that one of Robert's favorite things is getting read to about the winged knight. It was kind of like we've heard of kind of heroes like this, Lan the Clever, Brandon the Builder from like different kingdoms. Now here's one from the Vale. First
mention of the Winged Knight for us?
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't remember him.
And he doesn't he just rides a falcon or something, right?
And defeats the giant.
Yeah, I didn't mean that like but he doesn't have wings, is what I'm saying. He's called the Winged Knight, but it's not like he's flying around. He's just riding. He's flying around on a bird, which is even arguably cooler, right? Like, than
having wings. I'd say so.
He did slay a giant. He flew atop the giant's lance and slayed the Griffin King, which is just as cool. But yeah, just
what story would you rather have? Kill the giant or the Griffin King?
I mean, it just seems like more fitting. Like it goes along. Like you know how like Batman, like DC villains always seem to like be like not Batman and Joker, but like most of them are like a counterpart.
The reverse. Yeah.
Like Green Lantern, like yellow. Is it just Yellow Lantern or whatever? But yeah, most of them are just like Superman. You just have like evil Superman or whatever, right? So this is kind of the same thing. Like Falcon, Griffin. I know Griffin is actually kind of more badass, but whatever. Neither here nor there. Robert really liked these tales.
Get fucked. I'd rather have a falcon.
I'd probably have a griffin.
Than a griffin. Is griffin's not a real thing, right?
Yeah, but aren't they like a lion bird kind of thing?
Yeah, that just makes it better.
Yeah, it's better for sure.
It lost the fight.
There's a little description of Jeff. Read this description of Robert. Kind of just a refresher of what we're dealing with here.
When she turned back, Robert Arryn was propped up against the pillows, looking at her. The Lord of the Eyrie and defender of the Vale. A woolen blanket covered him below the waist. Above it, he was naked, a pasty boy with hair as long as any girl's. Robert had spindly arms and legs, a soft concave chest and little belly, and eyes that were always red and ruddy. He could not help the way he is. He was born small and sickly.
Yep. And this is the Lord, and I think she said something like, "This is the Lord of the Eyrie" or something, right?
Yep. And Defender of the Veil.
So
And
we
this
got.
kid's 8, right? Just as a reminder on his age, that's what we're dealing with. 8 years old, so
It's like Bran beginning of book.
Somewhere around there.
he's probably pretty comparable to Bran. Yeah, probably about the same age as Bran.
Who was climbing castles before he got pushed off.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Alayne gives him the sweet talk basically the whole time. Like, oh my gosh, you're so brave. You're so strong. Like, I definitely can't get down this mountain without you. Like, I need you.
Well, that's the next thing she says is, "You look very strong today, sir."
Yeah.
As she says, he looks sickly as fuck.
And she later gets into that's important. Maya doesn't know how to talk to him like that, but Miranda does.
Yep. She's trying to get him up ready. He doesn't want a bath. Nobody knows how to give him a bath like Mommy. Maddie and Gretchen just scratch him too much. Too rough.
Yep.
Maddie's a gossiper too. I don't know if we passed that part.
Yeah.
We can't talk too much around Maddie and Gretchen because she'll tell the girls.
Well, it seems like Elaine's learning some stuff from Maddie too, but there's a few mentions of things that Robert has become afraid of, or things that have changed about him since Lysa died. One is that he's more afraid of heights, like he won't even go on balconies now, so she's worried that this trip down the mountain's not going to be good because of that. Somewhere in here, she mentions that like the only good feature about him is his hair. He has like long hair
Yeah, they don't let him cut it or something.
Nobody knows
anymore?
how
He's
to
scared
cut
of
it.
it.
because he's afraid of getting scissors near his head, I guess. Yeah, just like weird stuff like that. Well, and later when she's talking to Coleman, he says something about he's afraid of music now,
Singing.
and she says no, only singing. Yeah, so
Yeah, he's got a little traumatic
PTSD.
experience.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really all it is her continuing to
Get out
go
of bed.
through and
Get out of
fucking,
bed, bro.
like, you have to go down. It has to be today. We have to go today. If we don't go today, we're never going to go. Has to go. That's really the beginning of this. This is the part that made
one
me
thing that I thought got
so-
mentioned a weird amount of times was he's arguing that he doesn't want to go because he's got bit by a mule when he was a kid. I feel like he says this like 5 times.
He does
I
definitely
don't
bring
know.
that up a bunch. He's like,
He's
no,
just
I
a
don't even
kid,
like
so-
mules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
but
more
whatever.
interesting part is that he had something funny in his milk the night before. And we do find out that the Maesters worried about some kind of reaction that could happen.
Yeah, we can talk about
later
this
on.
when we get to the Maester talk more. But yeah, basically he says he wanted sweet milk, but the Maester wouldn't give it to him. But instead, he put something vile in his milk, is what Robert is complaining about. Yeah,
Sweet milk, we just read about a little bit ago, right? Was that an Arya thing?
this seems to be a Robert only term, but what we hear later when Sansa's talking to the Maester is but what the Maester does, he puts sweet sleep, which is like a Maester potion or whatever, into Robert's milk.
It's basically
That's
what the Arya people are using.
Yeah, I probably have a quote from the Arya chapter down below,
Yeah.
I would guess, but maybe not. Maybe I'm guessing, hoping that my link will work. But yeah, Arya learned about this poison. So
Okay.
again, we can talk about it when we get to the Maester one, because the Maester says some stuff even about it in this chapter. So
Maya's waiting for us. Let's go. We got to go before it gets cold out.
she ends up convincing him with 100. She's like, "There's gonna be lemon cakes at the feast." He likes lemon cakes now because she does. He wants 3 stories or 5 stories, something like that.
It bumps to 5.
Yeah, and then 100 lemon cakes.
Dude, 100 lemon cakes are ridiculous. No one's eating 100 lemon cakes.
Yeah,
Remember you
I know,
made
yeah, right.
lemon
It's
cakes,
just
Nelson? They
go
were
for it.
actually banging.
yeah. I should make them again. Got the recipe books right back here somewhere.
They were good. But like 100? Come on. You can't eat
Yeah, no way. I mean, I can eat a lot of cookies, not 100.
Glow sent us a picture the other day. He was making something from a Lord of the Rings cookbook.
Glow
It's got
can't
nothing
cook.
on the Game of Thrones. Actually, it probably does have some good stuff in there.
He
Yeah,
can-
but
he
also
can't
Glow can cook. Good call. As she pulls him out of bed, he kisses her, and she's like, "I'll just pretend it's Loras. It was just a childish kiss. I'll pretend it was Loras. He gave me a rose once, but he never kissed me. No Tyrell would ever kiss Alayne. I'm a bastard after all." And it says, as the boy's lips touched her own, she found herself thinking of another kiss. She could still remember how it felt when his cruel mouth pressed down on her own. He had come to Sansa in the darkness as green fire filled the sky. He took a song and a kiss and left me nothing but a bloody cloak. This is something I kind of forgot about. I'm hoping that we talked about it back then, but sometimes I question myself and I'm wondering if we did. Like, the Hound left Arya his bloody
Not Arya. Sansa.
Sansa.
Kingsguard.
Bloody Kingsguard cloaks, like a bloody white
Yeah.
cloak, right? Which is like the bloody sheet is like a symbol after like
Marriage.
medieval weddings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like a weird symbolism thing here. I don't know.
We've talked
Kyle,
about
any
it a
thoughts?
lot, Nels, before. Yeah. this thought of the kiss. Like she thinks back to the kiss a lot.
Yeah, she's thought back to it at least once before.
Really? I don't remember
think so.
this happening before, but I was kind of guessing that it was the Hound thing. So that you've
I want
confirmed
to say
that.
it was one of the first chapters of her in the Veil. She quickly thought about.
Well, she says as green fire filled the sky.
I know, man, but that was so long ago.
Yeah, just a while ago. Yeah, the Hound when he bailed from the Blackwater, he went to her room. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the song. I do remember the song part. That was what I mainly, I guess, sussed it out. With the green fire, obviously helped place the night. But yeah, I don't honestly really know. Other than like just she's probably pissed, kind of like that's our first experience with it. Right now, it's Robin is the next one.
Yeah, she hasn't.
Her two kisses.
I wonder did she? There was probably a kiss or two a Tyrion in there too, but that doesn't not make the track.
You think? I don't know. I don't know if she kissed.
They probably had to at least at the wedding.
Kiss your wife.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's not a Westerosi thing. Yeah, I'm thinking at least the one in front of everybody.
I feel like the cloak was more important. Nobody.
Yeah, you're right. It's like more of the cloak thing.
Yeah, and things went pretty sour pretty quickly at the wedding. So.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
He was too drunk. Post wake up. All right, so Robin agrees to wake up. She goes out and she's talking with Maester Coleman and Maddie Gretchel there, and then the two squires, Giles and Terrence.
Yep.
And she's like, all right, get him bathed, be gentle, don't mess with him.
Giles is being a dick. She makes him clean up all the shit.
Yep.
Someone had to. You don't want the first thing you don't want to come back to from your vacation home is frozen shit that's thawed over time.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and if these squires should know better. If they're coming to this room, they got to know one of the four of them is going to clean up this shit. They know there's shit in here. You don't want to be talking back. You know what I mean? You gotta be just.
You should be on your best behavior. Yeah, stay out of shit, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have a head on your shoulder at least until someone else gets that job.
Yeah.
So, but she goes and talks to Coleman pretty much quickly. It's just those two. They're walking away, and she's asking about the milk.
Why'd you get? Well, doesn't he say like, "Yo, should we give him?" Does he start with?
It starts with the vileness, right?
Or I thought it was, "Hey, maybe we should give him some milk of the poppy for the ride down."
I think they get into that afterwards. At first,
no, because he goes, "Did you see any shaking when you were in there?"
Oh yeah, it does start with something bad in his drink.
And then and she goes, "No, I didn't see any shaking. Really, he was trembling a little bit, but he tasted something gross in his milk last night, dude."
Was he bleeding? Was he bleeding from his nose? Did he have a nosebleed? Did I kill him?
Yeah, no. Good. That is good. His chain clinks softly as he bobs his head. Ridiculously long neck. Yep. Then he's like, we should give him just milk of the poppy. Literally just knock him out cold, lash him over a mule. That's how we're going to get him down the mountain. And she's like, no, we can't do that. Like, people can't really know how frail he is. Yeah, we got to keep that hidden.
Think about people take like sleeping pills all the time though for like flights and whatnot, right? Like,
but this is like his house, right? Like he's supposed.
Yeah,
if anybody is supposed to be like comfortable with this ascent and descent, it's him.
That's a true point.
Yeah. And this is where we kind of get into what's going on with Littlefinger a little bit, because she's thinking like Littlefinger would know to make sure that he looks the Lord. So where is Littlefinger, Kyle?
He's west of here, Gulltown.
It's no fun calling on Jeff anymore with Jeff when he just has the answer.
When he has your notes.
I mean, I knew the answer. I could have told you the answer.
He has a study guide. Yeah.
Was he? Where was he? I forget exactly.
He was at Lionel Corbray's wedding, who is now marrying a merchant daughter of Gulltown. I think he's at House Corbray.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
he's at their house.
What's their house called? Something Hart, I think.
I think you know the land.
Because their sigils is hearts being carried by ravens.
Called Heartsbane.
Heart's home.
Damn it.
I was just thinking High Heart, but I knew that wasn't it because that's that weird dwarf lady in the Riverlands is that High Heart, the hill High Heart. But yeah, High Heart, what did I forget already? Heart's home, something like that. So it's probably there. But yeah, and exactly, he's marrying just some merchant lady, basically some girl way below his station.
Lots of money.
She got some money though.
Yeah,
that's why exactly.
Which is crazy to me, I guess, that this nobody is able to amass this wealth to, I guess, upstep. It seems weird that they're putting it in here, I guess, or that George decided to write this in here because it's not something that we've really seen anybody escape their class using that. I guess every other time it's been like Cersei bestowing land on all these people, right?
Sure, Jeff. Do you have any thoughts on this?
On just Littlefinger helping this person get married.
I think. Let me ask Kyle just a more pointed question before Jeff goes at it. Why might all of a sudden a High Lord need to accept something that wouldn't normally be accepted because he needs money? Because I'll mention later, it seems to happen again. Littlefinger says that Anya Waynwood is.
I'll tap in when Kyle's ready.
The betrothal to you with Harry Harding, who we'll get into later. That's because I'm going to give her an even bigger dowry. Right. So it seems like there's more than one person that needs money right now.
Go ahead, Jeff.
It's because Littlefinger's been buying debts up, would be my guess.
One step above that. He's buying debt up because people need their debt to be bought up.
People are broke.
A house is in debt to someone. Littlefinger's buying that up. Who were they in debt to before Littlefinger?
The king?
The Iron Bank.
Probably the Iron Bank. We've heard of a few times now that
what's the Iron Bank?
The
Iron Bank is the big bank in Bravos that Cersei refused to.
I got it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. And she's pissing him off. That's right. Okay. Yeah. They're going to everybody else. Now that you say that, I do remember this.
It's interesting because we never actually hear the Iron Bank mentioned in this chapter, but in like 2 or 3 other chapters, like when Jaime is in the Riverlands, we hear from his wife. She's like, there's a bunch of lords that aren't happy because all their loans are getting called back from the Iron Bank because, like, she's like, what's Cersei doing? Like, all the lords are pissed off because of the Iron Bank nonsense stuff type thing. So
got you.
They don't say the Iron Bank here, but Littlefinger does say something like, "Oh, we got news from Oswell, who is the father of all the Kettle Blacks, who are all hanging out with Cersei." So,
wait, wasn't he the one that dumped Sansa with Littlefinger?
Yeah, he rode Sansa to Littlefinger and brought her to Littlefinger's place.
Okay.
The Merlin King is Littlefinger's ship that they were on. And
I know. I guess all this is me kind of reassessing the whole Kettle Blacks with Cersei relationship because they know where Sansa is, essentially. They should, right?
Oswell does.
Yeah.
Depends on how much information's flowing both ways.
That's kind of, I guess, what I'm getting at. It's like there's potential for this family that's very connected to Cersei to have this information. That's
I would think if Littlefinger was really smart, he would be like, Oswell, you better not be saying shit to your sons, but get information about Cersei from your sons. Whether Oswell does that or not is a different question. Yeah. But I would think Littlefinger wants it to flow one way.
Obviously.
Think about all the info that Cersei's giving Osmond and Oswald right now, too. Just like the depth of the plans that she's built amongst those two.
I guess that's kind of the other side of it is that this highlights that they're probably plants as well then, right?
Who was it? Tyrion laughed at one point because he was paying one of the Kettle Blacks, even though Cersei thought that they were on her side. And then we were joking that because right around then is when we found out that the Kettle Black dad was actually on Littlefinger's side, and we're like, well, so Tyrion thinks it's him, but Cersei thinks it's her, but really it's Tyrion, but really it's Littlefinger. So this game's been going on for a couple books now.
They're just taking money from everybody.
Yeah, the meme of the people in the church or whatever. I feel like a sniper. Yeah. I don't know. There's some.
There's a person behind him in the pew and a sniper up on the third deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's at this wedding, and Littlefinger set it up. And Littlefinger, first off, this doesn't seem too important to me. Like, I understand what the point of it's supposed to be. So they say Corbray's vassals would be there with the Lords Waxley, Grafton, Linderley, and some petty lords and landed knights, and Lord Belmar, who had lately reconciled with her father. The other lords' declarants were expected to shun the nuptials, so Peter's presence was essential. So this makes it seem like because Belmore's coming, he's now not anti. Like, that's the implication.
I would say he's if you're like you watched a little bit of House of Cards, right?
Sure.
And the guy's like trying to get votes back and forth, right? The swing, like, put him on your side of the line now. You got his vote, type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's definitely what it's implying here is that like these guys wouldn't have showed up if they weren't kind of.
I got it. There's like 2 groups in the Vale right now, and Littlefinger's group is basically throwing a party, and one of like the main guys who's supposed to not like. It's kind of like the episode of The Office where there's 2 like holiday parties and like people start like shifting.
Oh yeah.
Like going to one. That's okay. I think.
Where's your allegiance lie?
Yeah. So he shows up. I think we hear later that somebody. I know later we hear that Lady Anya Waynwood also shows up. Miranda has some of that news.
Add another one to the.
So that's 2 of the 6 are kind of already on the yes side, right? So, yep.
And he's like, nah, don't give him any. Are we moving on?
Yeah, so now we're back to the drug and Robert.
Now
like, actually, don't give him that milk of the poppy. We don't want him to fall asleep. give him a little bit of that sweet milk. That'll be nice for his ride down.
Yep.
Well, this is where we get some info on that, is that it's like cumulative and isn't really good for you.
We just gave him some 3 days. So timeline wise, this chapter I have about 2 months after the last Alayne chapter. The last Alayne chapter, he definitely got some sweet milk in that chapter. So if there's none other, at least he had some 2 months ago, and then he says here he had some just 3 days ago. He's like, I can't give more. He had some just 3 days ago,
and it doesn't leave the body. Like it's weird, right? Because we know that enough of this will straight kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he says, as I told the Lord Protector, a pinch of sweet sleep will prevent the shaking, but it does not leave the flesh. And in time, ... and she cuts him off and doesn't let him finish. And then to what Jeff was alluding to before, we heard about this in the last Arya chapter when the waif was basically teaching her about poisons. Sweet sleep is the gentlest of poisons. A few grains will slow a pounding heart and stop a hand from shaking. A man may feel calm and strong. A pinch will grant a night of deep and dreamless sleep. 3 pinches will produce that sleep that does not end. The taste is very sweet, so it is best used in cakes and pies and honeyed wine. Here, you can smell the sweetness.
So they got to be giving like a tenth of a pinch, right? To like, if you want to keep giving it to him over time, it's got to be the smallest amount.
I don't know if they want to keep giving it to him over time.
Well, sure, but it sounds like
Coleman seems to not want to.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's the only thing that gets him under control.
Well, and then, not to spoil the end of the chapter, but at the end, like, Littlefinger doesn't even give a shit, right? Like, let's be real. Like, he's just like, whatever needs to happen happens. Like,
actually, how can we kill Rob?
Yeah,
like he's not his survival isn't part of the plan, so it doesn't matter anyway. But
well, like, the thing is, the when might be very important for Littlefinger. So I think this could actually be if Littlefinger knows more than he's letting on about what's going on with the sweet sleep, this could be a tool, right? Where it's just kind of like a knob that you crank to determine when is best for me to have Robert take the bucket.
Once that nosebleed starts happening, we know it's go time.
So this is my next question: Is
that what you think, Jeff? The nosebleed?
That would be my assumption. Is that like if it's causing that reaction,
but what do you think they gave him last night then? That's
what I'm saying. Like a pinch of I don't know, because it's not sweet, right? It was vile.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, Jeff. Though that he's still concerned of nosebleeds because of the sweet sleep, because that's when. Okay. I don't know though, because she doesn't really ask about the sweet sleep when he's mentioning the nosebleed. So I guess it does imply.
Well, no, then here it does again though, because then he says, "I try, my lady, yet it's fit." Well,
so my thought is like, what if after the morning after he gets sweet sleep, he has a nosebleed, and the maester's kind of telling like when it's okay to give him more sweet sleep based on when he doesn't wake up with a nosebleed. So like when she's like, give him more, and she's like, are you sure he didn't have a nosebleed? Like maybe that's like his like, okay, maybe it's okay. But it does. The earlier quote does imply that he's worried about the nosebleeds because of whatever he gave him last night. I personally think I don't know if there's more evidence we get from this. I think what he gave him last night was milk of the poppy, just because that's the other thing he's like giving him tonight, and just knock him the fuck out.
Well, that was what I thought he wanted to give him for sure. So yeah, I thought the same thing.
We've never heard that tasting vile though. That used to be the vileness is the weird part of.
I know, but the kids like, ew, it's medicine, right? Like
yeah.
Like they don't know necessarily, so it might not taste gross to you because you understand that you just need to fucking take it, and it's
I think
better than nothing.
But I think it's the nosebleed has to do with it's weird because we know that if you just took enough of it to kill you, you just die, right? So you probably wouldn't have a reaction to it. But if it's a cumulative thing, that's what I'm thinking. Is like that I don't know. Something happens that
I don't know.
You're bleeding internally until you're gone.
Just melts your brain.
So I think they settle on one pinch to help him get down, and then another pinch to get him through the feast.
Well, that's wild. He's already got 3 pinches. He's dead. 3 pinches.
Using up all his fucking pinches.
I know, and he's 8, right? Like. He should be going, like, you don't give your 8-year-old the same dose of any medicine that you take yourself, right? Like, I mean, I don't have a kid, but I think that there's, like, children's medicine, or you take, like, a third the dose or something, right?
It's completely different.
Yeah.
I like how you're acting like these maesters have modern medical standards and,
I mean,
like,
I'm sure
peer-reviewed papers, and...
I'm sure
that's what I'm saying. Like,
that,
is a pinch for a kid's got to be, like, a pinch of 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 a pinch of.
You think they got
It's
children's
one
sweet
salt.
sleep?
It's like if you were grabbing a pinch of salt, right? Instead of a pinch of salt, for like you're taking one little granule.
The
of
quote
salt.
said, "A few grains slows a shaking, a pounding heart, or slows a shaking hand." That's what the wave said. A few grains. A pinch is a night of dreamless sleep. This dude's this guy's chugging a bottle of NyQuil before he rides a mule down a mountain.
I think George messed up his
that purple drink.
I think there's something going on with. I think there's a chance that there's something going on with
Maester Coleman's up to something.
Sweet Robin, where he's just somehow tolerant.
He's impervious.
Or
he's
growing a tolerance and is doing something to him.
That's his superpower, is he can just
exactly
pinch upon pinch of sweet sleep and he's good.
Yeah, and he becomes immune to it. So when Littlefinger wants to, it's just like he's somehow levels up and becomes like
I like that.
A Falcon Warg or something like that, because he just gets a ton of sweet sleep overnight.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. What I was gonna say is that, like, so you asked me a question a few times ago, and you asked me every other chapter here. Now that we're at the end, I think this is the last Sansa chapter. So I don't not obviously, like, we got 3 so far. I don't see how we get another one in the next like 2 or however many are left. But
yep.
So you don't seem to even know, I guess, what happens to Robin after this, right? Like, it's kind of where I'm at. So I like that. It makes it fun.
Because I'm doing a really good job at my job. And
yeah, you're not that good.
He's not that good.
But yeah, no, because I think it's very interesting, and the idea of him being like strong enough or coming through in the clutch, right? Like that would be unforeseen character switch for him, because he's been pretty useless up until now.
He just Captain America's the next book.
Not even Captain America's. I just mean like he just by like still living, he fucks up all Littlefinger's plans or something like that. Like just enough. Like I think that would be an awesome.
I'm not gonna say this is a spoiler, but I will say that like I'm not as joking about this as I am coming off as, and one of the other points of evidence towards something like this would be the only other person we've kind of seen just like take sweet sleeps to the face, no problem, is Bran. Bran was like, I'm having dreams. I don't want to have these dreams anymore. Make it stop. And Lewin's like, okay, this isn't going to be an all the time thing, but we'll give you some sweet sleep. And Bran's like, they did not stop the dreams. He went to bed and just had crazy dreams like normal. So again, is that a huge connection or evidence? No, but
is that one time or is that multiple times?
We only saw it once.
Do you think Robin is going to have a sweet falcon that he works into or something, that it becomes a winged knight?
I don't know, but Bran is also paralyzed. So the whole like, I don't really think this like weak, sickly boy is going to turn out to be the hero. I don't know about that, because like I could see Bran like becoming more important than he seems as like a paralyzed boy.
Well, for sure, yeah.
Right. But again, there's no actual evidence that Sweet Robin has any magical or anything abilities. It's a big stretch, right? So
I was gonna say the other side of it, though, with the whole Bran has been in our focus for all that time too. Robin has just never been like, Bran was kind of superhero before he got broken or fell, right?
Not really.
Yeah, he was. He was like climbing hell. Like he was
cool.
nuts, man. He was cool. Yeah. So like, I guess that's what I'm getting at. It's like he started awesome, whereas this guy has just been nothing but a sniveling little kid since the beginning. Everybody made fun of him. You guys made fun of him. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a little different. I would like to see. I'd like to see him come through somehow. Just everything seems to be going Littlefinger's way too much, and I don't like when these assholes come out.
Wouldn't it be great if little Sweet Robin is somehow
that's what I'm saying.
That throws the mastermind Littlefinger off. Yep. Yeah, I kind of agree. So I think a lot of fans are kind of are along that same thinking, and then that's why I think there are some theories along these lines of like, oh, Sweet Robin's actually kind of a magical character. It's like, okay, we have no evidence of that except for the dude is getting drugged and doesn't seem to be having as big of an effect as he needs.
And you love that theory.
Yeah, I do like that theory. But
once they get down, there will be a small feast. No more than 40 guests. They're worried about him shaking and getting through that as well. Yeah. Especially if there was music playing, because as we aforementioned, he doesn't like music anymore, or the singing.
Yep. She clarifies she doesn't like singing because he's fine with music. And I guess the last point on Sweet Sleep here is Coleman's like, okay, fine. I'll agree to the 2 pinches of sweet sleep, one here, one at the bottom, but this must be the last for half a year. Which again is like, this is not like
That's still way too much sweet sleep.
just kind of again points out how we don't have to linger on it, but how much like this is definitely like a not every day that you're supposed to have.
can't
Well,
mess
this
around
is
with
like, yeah, I feel like this is a plot line in movies and stuff too, where it's like a little bit more, yeah, and then it's like, oh fuck, we've
addicted to
gone
heroin.
past the point. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's how heroin works. I thought heroin was more just like a never once.
I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. They say it's you only try it once, and then every other time.
Well, I
it's
guess it
the
could have
addiction.
been like, painkillers to.
You only
but
choose
you're
to-
Yeah,
always
more
looking
like that.
for
Something like that. Yeah. Exactly. So okay, now alone. There's a sword section where she's alone thinking. Castle's cool. It gets snowy sometimes. Kind of a beautiful place. We've said this before. It is a cool castle. But she thinks there's a sept, but no sept, and a god's. I thought this was cool. A god's wood with no gods.
No,
and no
God's wood
no
with
tree.
no tree.
No tree. So up here, your prayers aren't answered.
But she could hear the wind.
Exactly. I knew Jeff would like that.
Yeah, that was the
Right?
coolest part of the chapter, probably.
Yeah.
Hey,
she's like,
your old gods are there, Sansa. Open up your ears.
yeah.
What's her
No
name?
gods.
Osha.
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 OSHA. Well, OSHA is the
I know.
occupational
OSHA
safety.
is the occupation. I think it is that though. Right on the heels of this wind thing, there's another interesting quote. She's like, the thought of leaving here scared her almost as much as Robert. But her father said there was no shame in being afraid, only showing your fear. All men live with fear, he said.
We have a better Ned quote for fear.
Well, I thought she was slipping into a Ned quote.
She was.
This isn't a Ned quote. She says, Alayne was not certain she believed that. Nothing frightened Peter Baelish.
I know, but I think it was an accident. I think this was still a little Sansa showing through.
Oh, I actually do. I think she's talking about Peter here.
You think Peter? I think Peter made this quote. And
Isn't that exactly the Ned quote? Didn't he say something
Ned
like that?
says
Like,
you can only be brave when you're afraid.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and like that's what this quote is pretty much saying.
it's similar.
Paraphrased.
Yeah,
That's why I think it's interesting because I think what you're meant to think it's Ned until
There's a couple
she
times
gets to
she
the
says
end.
my father, and
Yeah.
she
I know. Well, that
definitely-
was good. That is one of the I don't want to say the positives of this chapter, but like I know I shit on the chapter at the beginning, but like one of the things I enjoyed about this chapter was yes, like she is definitely really full bore leaning into this character and like, you know, completely forgetting who she used to be. She has changed so much from the the trapped with Cersei Sansa that she was to now. Like she is
She thinks about that on
all
the
in.
way down too, right?
Yeah.
I came up scared Sansa, but I'm going down.
yeah.
Tough Alayne.
Bastard brave Alayne. Yeah. It's also crazy to think about like how much her and Arya are like so different, but also so similar in that they're both just completely playing other people at this point. Like they feel like they have nothing left, and all they have is to. And because they feel like they have nothing left, they're like might as well step into these shoes. You know what I mean? It's better than
Might
my
as well
real
roleplay.
shoes. Yeah.
I think it's both too. That's a good point. I think it's let's role play till we can pop out of the
Get back to it.
out of the curtains, right? And be us.
All right. So the last thing I have for while she's alone is kind of why she's scared. She's scared not. I thought at first it was because of the actual ride down the mountain, but she's more afraid of when I'm down there. I'm at way higher risk of getting found out. Cersei has people out looking for me and Tyrion, and there's 12 people up here, literally total.
Yeah, that was really like the best place for her to be. Nobody coming and going.
Yeah.
Like no news coming in or out, no strangers.
Yeah. Down there, it's going to be worse.
Nobody recognized her, right? Is the biggest thing.
Yeah. Up here. So next stop, Winch Room. Down there, we got Lothar Brune, Mord
the
and
goat.
2 serving guys, kind of basically just loading their clothes and all the stuff out of the Eyrie.
Is Mord the one that was with Tyrion?
Yeah.
Yes, we saw in the last Alayne chapter he
gold,
has gold teeth now, I think, because
The jailer.
Tyrion
It's a Game of Thrones word.
Yeah.
promised to give him gold if he got him a meeting, and he did. And then we saw in the last chapter he has gold teeth now, so he keeps his debts.
Mord the goat and some people carrying boxes.
Yeah, they're loading everything into these big baskets to send them down. Sky is 600 feet below. You either take the basket, we've heard this before, or you climb the chimney, or go the way Marillion or Lysa went. I think that was like a funny line. But that's it.
And you got to think about how fast
three
the
ways to get
mountains
down.
meet you.
Yeah.
These baskets sounds fucking terrifying. Fuck all this. Fuck. Like this place sounds cool, but I don't know that I could visit it, man. Could you go up this?
Ooh, I don't know, man. Just a swinging basket's pretty scary.
Robert is like a sickly kid, but that's like you're about to go to a roller coaster and you're scared, and like you see like 6-year-old girls coming out of the exit line, and that's like, okay, I can't be scared anymore.
Makes you get
even
back
if
on
it
it.
is scary, like 6-year-old girls are just like badass. You know what I mean? Just you don't even know enough to be afraid when you're a kid. That's the problem, right? And then I'm getting
you're
shamed
invincible.
into it
Dude,
because
I
of
was
these like
afraid of
6-year-old.
every ride when I was a kid.
I like rides, but
like Robert is like crazy sickly, and he goes through some shit on the way down this mountain, right?
I mean,
like,
he's not excited about it. Like,
I don't know. I think he kind of
I
handles it
don't
like
think
a
he goes
champ.
through some shit. I mean, I guess if you watch Maya almost fall, that'd be pretty scary. But
didn't they give him a pinch of sweet milk first?
I guess he's drugged up. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to. I feel like I'd want a sober state of mind going down this mountain. You know what I mean? Like,
the crazy part is they fall asleep. They're falling asleep. I know it's later on in the ride.
well, towards
but, like,
the end, yeah.
it's like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But so they start talking about Maya's upset.
Couldn't do it.
She's not actually here right now, but Lothar's like, Maya's going to be upset. We got to go. What's going on? And then we kind of get this. We learn about Lothar. We've heard before that he's like Littlefinger's guy, and he saved her from getting raped by Marillion before. But
That was at the gates of the moon, right? Was that down below, or
I think
or
that was
like,
at Littlefinger's house at the
Oh
Fingers.
yeah.
Yeah, when they first got back. Yeah. Kyle, you want to read this quote about Lothar?
With his squash nose, square jaw, and a nap of woolly gray hair, Brune could not be called comely, but he was not ugly either. It was a common face, but an honest one. Though he had risen to knighthood, Sir Lothar's birth had been very low. One night he had told her that he was kin to the Brunes of Brownhollow, an old knightly family from Cracklaw Point. I went to them when my father died, he confessed, but they shadowed me and said I was no blood of theirs. He would not speak of what happened after that, except to say that he had learned all he knew of arms the hard way. Sober, he was a quiet man, but a strong one. And Peter says he's loyal. He trusts him as much as he trusts anyone.
Yeah. Cool, because Cracklaw Point is... Who do we know from Cracklaw Point?
Oh, fuck.
Jeff?
He doesn't exist anymore.
No, he does not.
Was it the dick? Crabby Dick?
Yep, Nimble Dick Crab. What a beast.
Yeah.
Rip. So, yeah, he's from out there, really lowborn, and it seems like Littlefinger took him in, took him under his wing at some point.
Who's that? This Lothar Brune?
This Lothar Brune, and because that's why he's really loyal. But yeah, he's got a crush on this girl, Maya. Mule Girl. What else do we know about Maya?
Cuts her own hair with a
Kind of
knife.
pretty. Hair doesn't look good, but it's kind of pretty. Blue eyes, dark hair,
She's Robert's daughter, bastard daughter.
yeah, that's what I was looking for.
and he used to visit her all the time.
Well, he probably had her while he was still just here all the time.
Yeah, he was probably
Well,
just
he was a
living
ward.
in the Vale.
Yeah, exactly. So, and earlier in this book, we actually heard that Cersei said that Robert once asked if he could bring one of his daughters from the Vale, bastard daughters from the Vale, to court, but she's like, Cersei responded saying like, court's a dangerous place. You can do it, but she might not last very long around here. And Robert like hit her, but never brought it up again or something like that. So it seems like he actually had a sweet spot for Maya. Yeah, maybe his first. He was young when he was here, right? So
I would venture to say first.
definitely a chance. She's up there.
Yeah. And we find out that Brune has a thing for Maya.
Yeah, and be a good match because he's pretty lowborn. She's a bastard, so could make it happen.
Let's get it going. But she's half mule, so.
Yep.
Mord's cracking the whips. Things are going up and down.
They have these oxen. I think it's a weird tradition that they just like butcher the oxen and leave them for the falcons, and then like hope that they timed it well enough that like the winner is like coming in right on the heels of them leaving, and then they freeze them and they come up and there's a
But
ton
like,
of
what else are you
oxen.
gonna do with these oxen though? Like, something has to. How do you get the first ones up?
Yeah. Do you raise them up there?
Like, parachutes aren't a crazy technology. You think you just like
Yeah. Parachute the cows. Yes.
Aren't the bottom of the mountains like daggers
Crags.
pointing up?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but like
Probably.
not where the gates of the moon are. Just have like
I
a
also
big
don't know that a
trampoline at the
cow
gates
can
of the-
fucking operate
Yeah.
a parachute. So shut up, Nelson.
I don't think
And
my
it's
idea
like
is
windy as
practical.
shit. They probably spin
What about
around.
zip line?
Well, I was thinking, like, why wouldn't they build a winch, kind of like a ski lift type of thing, to like fully go all the way
Like a
down
ski
to the
lift?
gates of the moon?
I
Or
think it's just so high. It takes them all
It's like
day
vertical.
to do this to go from top to bottom. Right? They're leaving pretty early, and it's nighttime by the time they
Yeah.
get down.
all right, well, I'm just saying, you got all summer to build something. You might as well try to build a ski lift.
Yeah.
Fireman's pole. They can come down.
I guess
That's
that
what they
also
should've built.
kind of makes the whole impregnable, makes it a little more pregnable.
You just hop on a zip line, just hold yourself in there.
So
How much technology is a zip line? All right, where are we at? Randa's coming up.
Randa's coming. Her mother died long ago, so now she's kind of like the boss down below. She's the one that keeps the whole castle. She wasn't home when Sansa came up last time, so she's never actually met her.
Is it a good time when she's around or a bad time?
Good time. She makes it lively.
They have more parties when she's around.
Yeah, she seems all right. Sansa knows she needs to watch her mouth around her. Essentially, though, like she's
looking for info.
she's slyer than she leads on.
Yeah, she's witty.
Right.
Yeah.
I think she does pretty well at dropping. She drops Sansa's walls pretty quick.
Miranda might be
Yes.
my new. If you could
Yeah.
date anybody from Game of Thrones, it might be Miranda. She might be my new
Hell
number
yeah.
one.
You were really into Ariane though.
I mean, Ariane's hot. I don't know if I'd want to date her. She's kind of crazy.
She's locked
like,
up in that castle in that tower.
You know that, like, is that from Always Sunny? The like hot versus crazy scale.
Yeah.
It's just basically a straight line. Like the hotter you are, the crazier you are. Like
Yeah.
Ariane is on that line 100%. Right, like she's up there.
I mean, she was
Like Cersei,
She
right?
tried to steal the queen. Like she did a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to deal with that. You know, it's like imagine you wake up with that. You're like, you know what your wife did this morning.
Next thing you know,
It's
you're
like, oh,
charging
God.
head first at Hoda, you know, and your fucking
Exactly.
head gets snicked off.
Aries got caught
Yeah.
up in that. Look where he ended.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So Alayne gets up to her room, right? She packs a little bit of clothes. She leaves the really nice stuff because she can't wear them anyway.
Yep.
And yeah, one last look where I've been safe, but it's time to go. Got to go down.
Yep.
And Maya's there. She's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah. What's taking so long? And luckily,
Hurry
she
the
doesn't have to
fuck
answer.
up.
Robert shows up just in time. The whole crew from earlier,
Dressed like a goat.
Squires, Maddie, Gretchen, Coleman, they're all there. He's dressed up. I mean, she got dressed up too, right? Because it is going to be cold. Robert's basically like, Maya, you fucking stink. I'm only riding with Alayne. Because at first she's like, Alayne, she's like, all three of us can go. She's like, no, you fucking stink. Just us two. So
You
they
look
go
and
in.
Sound like a mule.
And kind of like Kyle was saying, like, this is a kind of a harrowing barrel ride. So they're in a barrel,
Sounds
so they can't even
terrifying.
see. They can only see out the top, right? There's no, because there are baskets and barrels. So, but this one, like, they can't see. It's like 6
The
feet.
But
big
yeah,
barrel.
this is the biggest one. It sounded like this is like the most sturdy, biggest ass thing.
The people
but
one.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
too big.
Just imagine that you're putting like the air to the castle in this thing. What was
Yeah, man,
the
fuck
other
all
option?
this.
Was climbing down handstones? Like
Yeah.
that's crazy too.
600
That's all
feet.
wild.
It's 600 feet too. It's not like a little hand.
Yeah,
stand.
no, he ain't
Yeah.
doing
It's
that.
a
Yeah.
long trip down the sky.
Yeah,
600
that
feet is a
sounds
football
awful.
field, right?
Yeah, basically. No.
3 feet is a yard.
3.
So 300. So it's 2 football
300.
fields.
Yeah, 2 football fields.
That's a
which is
lot-
big.
even
I was-
longer way.
I was curious, like how tall is the Eiffel Tower?
Probably closer to the wall. 700 feet. I guess this is as high as the wall.
984 feet.
Eiffel
the Eiffel
Tower,
Tower.
wall, and from the Erie to Sky, all
Yeah,
comparable
and-
about a
and-
long fucking way.
And the Eiffel Tower has an actual elevator. This has fucking some
I've been.
oxen
I've
winch
been.
that's
Yeah, with a barrel.
with a bucket. Yeah, that
You know
you're
what's
just like
wild is
inside
that
of.
the elevator actually
Get
goes
fucked.
up like diagonally a little
Yeah.
bit too.
The Paris one? Are you
Yeah.
just showing off that you've been abroad?
I've been to Paris.
No.
I don't even know if I
Alright,
knew
Joe.
you went to Paris.
I spent 3 days in Paris and the rest in Italy.
Italy. Yeah, I knew you went to Italy. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, she basically convinced him. She's like, "You're the brave. You're the wing knight. You're brave. You're a goat. Let's get in this thing."
Hold me,
And-
hug
and-
me tighter.
And they go.
He just gets a little motorboat action midway
Yeah,
down
he's-
too.
But again, like they do, there's like a wind gust that smacks him
Dude,
against the
yeah,
wall, like,
yeah,
and
that's
he's
terrifying.
he's kind of taking it like a champ. He's like, "Yeah, I am the wing knight. I am brave as
He's
fuck."
drugged up. He is drugged
I don't
up.
care,
Like,
man.
I don't. Like I do. That's why he's taking it like a champ. They
I
fucking
feel like
gave
I
him-
would be freaking out more drugged up. Like I don't know.
Nah, dude, he's just fucking chilling. he's He don't know what's going on. He's like, fucking like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, this ride's
What's
sweet.
wild is that a good enough wind and the rocks could break this thing. Like, it could be
Oh
gone.
yeah, fuck all this. That's what I'm saying.
Speed
That-
up
this is my
Littlefinger's
point.
plans. Exactly. Well,
How
yeah,
many-
I guess we need Alayne.
Yeah, not with Alayne in there.
Yeah. So yeah, they get to the castle. The castle sucks. It's basically just like a half moon wall, right? Half circle wall.
That's just where you get the mule. It's where you get on your mule and you pop on down.
Yep.
But Mirandy's here.
Exactly. And while the bucket's going up and bringing more people down, there's a little chance for Miranda and to talk to Sansa kind of alone for a second. Alayne alone for a second. All right, so we didn't mention it, but earlier when Maya was in the winch room and Robert came down, Maya was like, Robert, how you doing? Let's get in this bucket. And Sansa thinks to herself, like, that's not the way to talk to this guy. You got to compliment him first. Didn't really matter. Again, she didn't end up riding in the bucket with him. But as soon as Robert gets out of the bucket down here, Miranda gets on a knee, kisses him. She's like, oh, you look so strong. And Sansa's like, all right, this girl.
She knows what to do.
Yeah, she knows what's up. It kind of just pointing out what Kyle said earlier. She's a sly one.
She knows how to play the game.
Robin likes Randy too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So what are they talking about? Randy don't have
Randa.
a filter. Randa.
Is it Randa?
It's Randa.
She's like, you're beautiful like I heard. She's like, you're so kind. Miranda's like, kind is boring. I want to be wicked. You got to tell me all your secrets on the way down the mountain. And Alayne thinks, you're not going to get any secrets from me.
Not getting out of me.
One thing that kind of happens the whole way down the mountain is Alayne refuses to call her Randa, as she keeps insisting. Elaine keeps calling her
My
Lady
lady,
Miranda.
my lady, or whatever. Yeah, or my lady Miranda or whatever.
Do you think that's her playing the part, or
I mean it is because she's a bastard, right? So she's trying to be. This is her better.
If she was being Sansa, she would call her Miranda.
Yeah, probably because they're
Or
friends,
Randa,
right? But this is
right.
her better, I think. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
probably her. Yeah, trying to play this part. She's like, "How old are you?" She says 14, thinking that Alayne should be older than Sansa. It's not much older. It's maybe like 6 months or a year older, but whatever. Also, just dumb because it just makes it something else you could slip up on by accident, right? Just make yourself the same
Yeah.
age. If you're
What's
gonna
your
do
actual name day now?
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not like anybody knows how old Sansa was really or her birthday. Like that's
What's
not
that
like
called? Like, are you a Gemini?
I'm a Gemini.
zodiac sign.
What's your zodiac
Yeah.
sign? Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what you are?
I'm a Cancer, just like people tell me I am in real life. So it makes sense.
Oh, dark.
Oh, poor Nelson.
All right.
It's true.
Yeah, so she's 14. She's like 14. I remember how innocent I was at 14. Are you still innocent? Is what Randa's saying.
Yes, of course, with a little blush.
Yep. She's like, is there a squire dreaming of you, or are you saving yourself for Lord Robert?
How about Robert turning her down right away? Like, nah, she's my friend.
Whoa. Robert, I don't think that's what Robert's doing. Robert, she says, or is a squire dreaming of you? And he says, no, Giles and Terrence can have her. Those are his two squires. So
Well, yeah, but he also says she's my friend. Giles can't have her.
She's my friend. Yeah, they can't be her friend.
I think he's just too young to even understand
Yeah,
that there's
yeah.
Oh,
better
for sure.
things than friends to be with Alayne. Yeah.
He's kissing her and motorboating her.
That's what friends do.
But like, but yeah, but this goes back to the whole surrogate mom thing.
All right, where are we at? I actually lost myself in the
All right,
notes.
Alayne, Miranda, let's go. Come with me.
This chapter sucked. I'm sorry. That's why we're so lost. It was so boring.
No, we're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun.
So
but-
the Maya leads the first group down. It's her, Alayne, Robert. But then the squires come, then the handmaids, and then it's Maester.
yeah, these mules, they walk them down like the whole way, no problem.
Mules know their shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super impressive, right? Like,
Yeah, it is pretty impressive that like they know the wall. I wonder if it's. I'm sure it is true, right? That like
oh yeah,
if
for
these
sure.
mules walk, like they're not going to trip over a root type of thing because they know it's there.
Like the
That's
Grand
wild.
Canyon, right? Like you can ride the donkey down there.
I think
whatever.
it's just
Same
like
thing.
they're just good at like dealing with
Sure-footed.
these surfaces too, right? Like there's those goats that climb those like you see those videos of those goats
Yeah.
that are like standing on nothing. Like it's not. I don't think it's because they know those paths. It's just because those goats are fucking
That's a
crazy, right? Yeah, I mean these
I
mules.
think
aren't
it
as
helps
cool,
that
but
these mules have
they're
been
like,
up and down a million times too, though, Nelson.
Yeah, for sure. Reps always help.
All right, whatever. They start rolling down. Mr. Coleman's got spices and shit in the back. All right, sky to snow. Too cold. It's windy. Like there's not as much protection.
Robert complains right away.
Get me out of here.
Randa rides up pretty quickly. It gets wide enough for her to ride up, and they start chatting.
Yeah, let's get into some of the gossip. What's going on around town?
She's like, Littlefinger, we got news from the wedding. It went well. Lionel liked the bride, but I hope he remembers who to bed, him or the dowry. Again, it makes you think that he really needs the money.
He's just in it for the money.
Yep. And he's like, and Lady Anya Waynwood and Simon Templeton. I forgot to mention this earlier because we heard Belmore showed up. These two are both Lord Declarants. So that's 3 of 6. Half of them are on Littlefinger's side already. It's been 2 months. He had
basically
a year,
winning.
Right? They gave him a year at the end of the last one. So he kind of had to act quick, but seems like he's got 3 in his pocket already. And Alayne's like, it's been so long. I've been trapped up there. It was nice because I was safe, but give me some news. What's going on? Tell me what's going on in the realm. And I think there's some interesting things here, right? The first 2 points are pretty interesting. Riverrun has yielded, but Dragonstone and Storm's End still hold for Stannis.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the weird part, right? Like, this does not line up with anything we know.
It's the opposite of what we know. Riverrun is still holding out, and Dragonstone has yielded.
Yeah.
Well, Storm's End is still holding out, but yeah. Any thoughts, Kyle? Maybe again, it's also timeline. Maybe just we're getting news in the wrong order.
Yes and no. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess, but we're past.
Timeline doesn't matter.
We're so far from Riverrun. I would think that we'd get that news last, no matter what.
Well, I guess one interesting thing here is the Dragonstone. You've already said this might be right. The whole thing that Dragonstone actually got taken might be fake.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
I think that's interesting. Yeah. The Riverrun thing yielded is like
also super interesting because like Riverrun did not seem poised to yield at any point in time.
Well, all we saw last was Jaime's "Here's my plan."
Yeah, I know,
and they were going to action.
They didn't seem like they were going to yield.
Yeah, well, Blackfish wasn't. Yeah, yes. Exactly. Yep. Next news: there's a new High Septon.
Snow? Oh no, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead.
That is interesting because we know this High Septon. He is a character, but yeah, right after that, new Lord Commander as well. Some bastard of Eddard Stark.
Jon Snow. Red flag.
Right away, immediately just fucking dumps it. I know exactly who this is.
But she does say that like Miranda didn't seem to notice it, right?
Yeah, of course she's thinking that.
What do you mean?
She's like, oh yeah, of course I'm all right. I'm all right. I did great. It's not a problem.
I don't know. I feel like if I realized I stumbled on something I shouldn't have, I would have been trying to like look and be like, oh fuck, did they notice? And I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
You might be right. Again, we've heard that she's sly, so she just keeps going though. She does think about Jon. She's like, it's the first time I thought about him in a while.
And she kind of misses him. Or what is she, excited to see him?
She it's weird. She kind of like condescendingly says like, oh, we're both bastards now. So I guess like it would be nice to see him. So it's almost like she's kind of walked a mile in Jon's shoes now. So can relate to him a little bit. Which is cool. But she's like, Alayne never had any brothers, can't think of that. Next news from Randa. Bronze Jan Royce held a melee for squires at Runestone. The whole point, though, was for Harold Harding, Harry the Heir, to win the honors. So he did, of course. And then Bronze Jan knighted him. Alayne's like, Harry the Heir? And Randa says, he's talking about Harold Harding, who is Waynwood's squire. Alayne's confused. Waynwood had sons of her own. She doesn't say this, but she's thinking to herself, she's like, Waynwood has sons of her own. Like, Donald Waynwood is currently the Knight of the Gate, which is cool. That's the guy who defends, like, the Bloody Gate coming into the Vale. That's what the Blackfish was before he got pissed at Lysa and left.
I think it's valuable to talk about why he's the heir now, because I was very confused here, I guess.
Let's go into it later.
I think Miranda is saying he's just the heir of the Waynwoods house.
She's just saying like, Harry the Heir, assuming that Sansa knows what that means.
Yeah.
Sansa assumes she's talking about Waynwoods because Sansa doesn't know what that means.
Oh, you think Miranda's talking of the whole kit and caboodle?
Yeah. Miranda knows the deal.
She has to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was more so that they had named him the heir to just Waynwood Castle type of thing.
No.
So, that's what Sansa's thought was.
That's Sansa's thought for sure, Jeff.
Okay. Yeah. But that's not the case.
But the case is that like everybody is openly admitting that they understand that Robin is likely to not be around that long, right? Like that's
even if he was, he still needs an heir till he has an heir.
Yeah.
Probably not long enough or well enough to get an heir of his own, right? You don't need him to die tomorrow. You just need to be bet on he's not going to have kids.
It's still kind of like, I don't want to say treasonous, but like almost up there to be like talking about how this guy has like no shot.
But they're not really. It's just like if Nelson was named king, he needs an heir. He doesn't have one.
Okay.
So
Well,
someone-
Robert does have one though.
All right.
what?
Robert does have one. It's Harry.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm
what
trying
Jeff's
to lay
saying.
out the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I
Like,
follow
even
Jeff.
if you were the king, Nelson, you would need an heir. You don't have one, so
Yeah.
who is your heir? You need to name somebody. Harry is that person. So it's not treasonous for you to name an heir.
I got you.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, like, well, to Kyle's point is everyone seems to know that and be acting as if he's not going to be heir long, he's going to be lord very soon.
Yeah.
Right? Bronzion held this tourney just to knight him. Right?
Yeah.
Just to, like, basically
Make it official.
In the last Alayne chapter, I didn't bring it up then, but I probably did in the spoiler section. When Littlefinger's at the meeting dealing with the Lord Zekrat, one of the things he offers, he's like, Lady Waynwood, I'm taking a few wards in. I'd be more than happy to take one of your wards off your hands. And she's like, you're a bold thief, is what Lady Waynwood says to Littlefinger, because he's suggesting I take Harry the heir from you and just he becomes my ward. And it's like, no, right? Obviously, she's basically, everyone knows
this is the chip of the kingdom.
He's next.
he is important, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But here, like we said, Sansa doesn't realize, she thinks he's somehow the heir to Waynwood. Yep. But she doesn't want to seem stupid, so she's just like, I hope he's a good knight, because he got knighted. The other interesting thing I was going to say is, if you think about Nestor, who's now Rand's dad and now the Gates of the Moon Lord, he was like one of the front runners for marrying Lysa, if not for Littlefinger. And Randa says here, I was going to marry Harry the heir. My father tried to wed me to Harry once, but Waynwood refused. Randa says that he isn't sure if it was because of me or because the dowry was too low. But it's interesting, like, Nestor was trying to marry Lysa and wed his daughter to Harry. Littlefinger wed Lysa and is now wedding his daughter to Harry. So, like, it just is like what you would want to do to take over the Vale, basically. This is
the play. Littlefinger made it happen. Other people have tried.
Yeah,
is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's kind of interesting when you look at it like that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's finish up Gossip Tower.
Next news. I was married once.
This is when she gets into her freaky life.
Yeah.
Randy's been married once, but she killed her husband. Not actually. He died while intercourse.
While penetrating her.
She said, do you know what goes on in a marriage bed? She thinks of Tyrion and how Sandor had kissed her and gave a nod. And then Alayne says it must have been terrible, him dying. He's like, yeah, but I didn't get a child. That was the worst part. Now I'm a widow, but scarce used. But then later she admits to, I guess that's the next one. She admits to begging Marillion. She's like, I'm a widow, but scarce used. He's like, Harry could do worse and probably will. He'll end up doing worse than me. And he's probably one of Bronzion's granddaughters, is what Miranda ends up saying. Next thing. Miranda's like, I hope you don't think me too slutty, but I did bank Marillion once. He had such a nice voice, and his fingers he had some magic fingers.
She had to get some work done.
Yeah, I mean, George has a moment where he's talking about boobs. She's like, yeah, I banged Marillion. Your boobs, you're pretty. Your boobs are tiny, though.
Your boobs are way smaller than mine.
Yeah,
I got
and they're bastard boobs.
My breasts are larger.
I got the milky boobies.
Yeah, Maester say big boobs don't mean a lot more milk, but that's bullshit. They have to. You've never seen a wet nurse with tiny
Why would
teats.
she just pull that out of Convo? Yeah, mine are
Because
bigger.
George is a fucking creep.
No, it'll matter. Trust me. Just wait till when's a
I
winter. When we
trust
find
you.
it, when there's a small teated wet nurse that it's like, why is she here? Just wait. So yeah, Maya isn't a maid either. She likes Michael Redford. And we
I don't
actually
know
heard
if she
about
liked
this.
him, but she slept with him.
No, wait, she likes him. She was confessing her love to Catelyn way back in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Catelyn came up this mountain with Tyrion. She's like, oh, I love Michael. And Catelyn's like, you're a bastard. What I think is interesting here is we hear that Michael used to be Lynn Corbray's squire. Lynn Corbray's the guy who drew his sword in the last chapter. And it says a real squire, not like that loutish lad Sir Lynn's got squiring for him now. We don't hear who it is, but...
He only took that one because he got paid to take him.
Yeah, so Lynn
Interesting.
right now, for some reason, has a squire that he got paid
Needs
to
that
take.
bread. Lynn needs that bread.
But again, it's one of those things where I wonder if whoever it is important for some reason.
Littlefinger would have done that, right? I feel like.
Made him take a squire for money? Yeah. That's a good point.
Or taking money to let somebody squire for him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And this is when Alayne gives a little dirt.
Well, before Michael was given to one of Bronzion's daughters. He's like, he's too high for Michael. So that he's either married or betrothed to one of Bronzion's daughters. Yep.
Which sucks for Maya.
But yeah, now this is where Alayne starts dropping some tea.
Hey, I think Lothar really likes Maya. Maybe they could be a good match.
Yeah. More than and Randall's like, ooh, really?
There we go.
Interesting.
Maya doesn't want any parts of the matches because she's half mule. Which maybe she was just holding out for Michael, is what you're kind of saying, Nels.
Yeah, she seems not interested in anybody at the moment, from what I think something she says later. But yeah, Alayne just happy to be gossiping. She's like, I haven't had anybody to gossip with since Shane Poole. But again, she's still thinking of herself as like Alayne when she's doing all this stuff. The only time, and I wish I would have noted every time she thinks of herself as Sansa, because I think it is a few times in this chapter, but the only time I caught it, it was too late. It was when we're getting close to it. They crossed the saddle and the wind howls like a ghost wolf.
Yeah. And well, she thinks about the first time she came up the one path too.
She came up as Sansa and went down. Yeah, but here she's like the wind was howling like a ghost wolf. Sansa thought or something like that. Like she is actually
when
Sansa
it actually
in the
says
chapter.
Like Sansa. Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't note all of them, but that was the only one that I actually. By the time I saw that, I was like, "That's weird. That hasn't been happening much this chapter." But yeah.
All right. So the next drama is, or I guess gossip is your dad gonna get married again? What's he gonna do?
And then she jokes that like his nickname Littlefinger is because he's got a little wiener.
Yeah, I'm sure it's big enough.
Tiny ass finger.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So the path got narrow and steeper. So they got back in single line. Maya almost fell. Is this where she almost fell?
Yeah, they get to the stone bridge exactly. 1 yard across, 8 yards long.
Scary.
That's scary. Yeah, with a big drop on either side.
Especially when your guide almost falls too.
Yeah, it's never a good look.
Yeah, fuck all of this. Like I said before, horrible place to be.
Sansa just said, "Fuck it, let me take Sweet Robin across by myself."
Yeah, it seemed a little over the top for sure. Bro. Like this to me, I would have expected this to have taken hours to coax this kid across. It took hours to get him out of bed, and now here they are at this thing, and he's just like, okay. But I forgot about the drugs too, though. So,
well, I think she saw a moment in the conversation where he was like talking about how brave he was, and she was like, I can kind of like corner him into either admitting he's not or going across this bridge right now, and I know he's not going to admit he's not, so exactly, let's just do it. Yeah. So, and again, I think it's a good play, but again, I think props to Robert. I would be like, no, fuck you, Maya. I'm gonna wait for Maya on this one. Like, I know she stinks, but I'm gonna wait for her on this one. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. But exactly, and she calls him Sir Sweet Robin. You're my wing tonight is kind of partly how it happens, right? But so Maya's gone across with one mule. Sansa's like, it's now or never. Miranda helps. She's like, oh yeah, you are so brave. And Elaine's also saying, you're going to help me across. Like, I'm too scared. I could never do it without you. So he's also in this, like...
She does. Yeah, she leans into that.
She plays it great.
Like, I'm going to need your help. Yeah.
Yeah, like, people talk shit on Sansa. And, like, again, like, to me, this type of thing isn't as interesting as... I talk shit on Sansa, too. And, like, I'm about to. This type of shit isn't as interesting to me as, like, whatever Arya's doing. Like, the role that the fake role Arya's playing over in Braavos is cooler. Her selling muscles and whatever. But like this is some
oysters, clams, and cockles.
This is some top tier Sansa shit, right? This is like she's playing the role to
Sansa's
a T.
Way cooler now than when she was in book one. Sansa was awful in book one.
She's doing like I don't know, like motherly or like nurtury like type things really well. Arya's doing like
she's playing people. She's
assassin things really well. And I just find the assassin one's more interesting. But to Sansa's point, she's still
they're all playing their
clearly
part.
Figuring it out.
She's learning how to play people, though, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly. She's figuring it out.
Yeah. All right, let's get the snow.
But they get across.
And they keep getting down.
Yep. And I think this is, Kyle, if you have the line, this is where she hears the ghost wolf wind.
It sounds like a wolf, thought Sansa. A ghost wolf. Big as mountains.
Yeah. And that one stuck out to me because ghost wolf, obviously, is like one of the wolves.
Oh, it's John's ghost.
Yeah.
John's wolf.
Yeah. So now we're at Snow, which is the next castle.
They got a good meal there. Got fresh mules. And they talked a bit. What did they talk about?
This is where we get the Maya quote. Kyle, you want to read that? Yeah, I see you looking at your book. So Elaine's basically, how are you not afraid going across the saddle?
She was like, "You almost fell." Like, and Maya's like, "No, I don't fall."
You're mistaken. I never fall. Almost, I said. I saw you. Weren't you afraid? Maya shook her head. I remember a man throwing me in the air when I was very little. He stands as tall as the sky, and he throws me up so high it feels as though I'm flying. We're both laughing so much that I can hardly catch a breath, and finally I laugh so hard I wet myself, but that only makes him laugh harder. I was never afraid when he was throwing me. I knew that he would always be there to catch me. She pushed her hair back. Then one day he wasn't. Men come and go. They lie, or die, or leave you. A mountain is not a man, though, and a stone is a mountain's daughter. I trust my father, and I trust my mules. I won't fall.
So, I don't know. Kind of cool. We know that's Robert.
Probably, yeah.
And I also just like the line, a mountain is not a man, and a stone is a mountain's daughter. Because her name is Maya Stone, right? It's the bastard name. So, kind of cool.
But
good
she's
play on
not
words.
the mountain's daughter.
Also, this quote gives me mountain vibes. I don't know if there's any, obviously, I don't know if there's anything in there. I think it's just, how do you avoid that when you're doing mountain symbolism? Yeah.
How has nobody told her that she's Robert's daughter?
It's unclear to me if she knows. Like, does she know this?
She
man is
obviously, I mean, people of the Vale obviously know if he was treating her like his bastard daughter, right? Like,
yeah, Maddie, Alayne, and Miranda, I would say all know, at least. So I would assume Maya knows, but I agree. By this quote, it's unclear. So I don't know.
Whatever.
You think Sansa knows? You said Alayne.
They both, yeah. Alayne and Sansa. All the same.
You think Sansa knows that it's Robert's daughter?
Yeah, at one point, doesn't she say something about that? About Maya?
She said she had the blue eyes of Renly. It was early when she first
Yeah, she did say something about that, but I
saw her this chapter.
I still don't know that she knew it was her or not. I could be wrong. So,
I mean, I think Maddie told her that
Okay.
Maya is Robert's. I don't know if she figured it out on her own, but
Got you.
there's a part where she's like, Maddie said this, and then she's like, now that I look at him, he does look like she does look like Renly or whatever, like whatever Jeff said.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. All right, so we go down from snow.
It doesn't actually talk about what happens from snow till stone. We jump from, so the three castles are sky, snow, stone. We jump to them leaving stone, right? So we miss kind of them between snow and stone. You guys are lucky.
And Randy's like, hey, you can come share your bed with me.
Exactly.
I got a nice bed. 4 people can fit in it.
But you're lucky we're so tired. Normally I make people whisper secrets, tell me all their secrets to go to bed for
All
me.
the wicked things they've done or what they want. All the wicked things they want to do.
Exactly.
All right, let's get to the Gates of the Moon.
Yep. Gates of the Moon.
Hey, Peter's here. He wants to see you, Alayne.
Yeah, which is weird because it is night now.
Yeah, it's a long-ass trip.
Closer to dawn than dusk, I think she says.
Well, and that came out so fast, like, because it was like, oh, he's on the way back. He's on the way back. And then, oh, he's here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was not ready for that, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
TBH, too, they should have slept at snow or wherever they had the meal. They should have stayed the night.
One of them recommended
I
that,
agree.
but Maya was like, you don't know. It could be
Like,
snow
five
could
feet
keep
snow?
coming.
Yeah, it could be worse.
There was
Yeah.
a storm coming, I guess.
Yep. So she goes in. He's like, oh, Alayne, good to see you. Come give your father a kiss. So she gives him a peck on the cheek.
He wants that Tom Brady kiss.
Yeah, where's the tongue, little boy?
I have a comment on that later. So she apologized for interrupting and says she didn't know you had company, which is weird because and also I get the vibe that he's kind of drunk here, right? More drunk than we normally see him.
Well, and it's like 5 in the morning or
Yeah, it's
4 in the
late,
morning,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Like this dude, yeah, they had to have been up partying all night or doing something all night, right?
Yeah. So she's like, I'm sorry for intruding. She's like, you're not intruding. I was just telling them about what a dutiful daughter I had. And the first one says, dutiful and beautiful. He's elegant young knight whose thick blonde mane cascaded well down past his shoulders. We learn later his name's Sir Byron. Next one says, you left that part out. And he's a burly fellow with a thick salt and pepper beard, a red nose, bulbous with broken veins, and gnarled hands as large as hams.
So, are these the dudes that were with Brienne?
Hang on, I have one more to do.
Okay, sorry.
I would do the same if she were my daughter.
Said the last night, a short, wiry man with a wiry smile, pointed nose, and bristly orange hair.
Particularly around louts like us.
Said Sir Shadrich.
Shadrick. These are the Brienne dudes, right?
The last one is, not the first two.
Okay.
And when Brienne dude,
Well,
she was
the Shadrick name is the one I recognize, so I just assumed the rest of them were. So okay.
Yeah. So which one is this though? She was with a bunch of random cats kind of throughout this book.
What do you mean? She was with Shadrick.
She wasn't with Shadrick like she was with Dick. She was with Shadrick for like 2.5 pages.
Shadrick was the ones before she got to Dick, right? Like
not the
three...
one she was with for like the whole chapter though. She just encountered him for a little bit. She gave him the "I'm looking for a maid of 3 and 10" speech, and he was one that was like, "Oh, a maid of 3 and 10? I'm looking for a maid of 3 and 10. Does your sister happen to be Sansa Stark? Because if so, Varys is offering a lot of money for anyone who finds Sansa Stark. That happens to be why I'm out here." And she's like, "I don't like this guy." he goes by the Mad Mouse.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yep. So he might also be a problem for Littlefinger then.
Well, I mean, he just came face to face with what he's looking for.
Good thing Alayne's 14.
That's what I'm saying.
Alayne's 14. That's true.
Yeah, and her name's not Sansa Stark.
That was one of Jeff's top. That's a top 10 Jeff joke for all the podcasts.
All right, let's get into the meat of this book chapter.
Yeah.
Yep. So those guys leave.
They're hedge knights. Littlefinger's like, it's always good to have some hungry knights around.
But I mean, that's a good point though. This dude is maybe not.
I didn't remember that
Littlefinger's
Chadrick
team
was the Mad Mouse, and that he
is
knew.
that a spoiler?
No, it's not a spoiler because, like I said, I that's who I thought it was. I thought all 3 of them were the guys she was with.
Yeah, I feel like
It's kind of a spoiler. Just kidding. It's not a spoiler. It's just paying attention to names, in which I wouldn't have done.
it's not a spoiler because here's my justification. Kyle's already read that, so if he really wanted to, when he saw Sir Shadrick's name in this chapter, he could have like put a bookmark in it, gone back to that Brienne chapter and read.
That's
Sure.
a
No,
page
it's not
what I
a
did,
spoiler,
and
for
learned
sure.
exactly what I just told him, right? So
It's not a spoiler.
and I connected the two. It's not like I was like forgot that this guy existed until right now.
I thought you were thinking of
that
like
he was someone that
Shagwell.
Brienne had seen. You
I
didn't
thought
know
you
that
were
he
thinking
was
of a
looking for
completely different
Sansa,
person.
right? That's kind of the interesting part.
Yeah,
I'm
but
giving you
I
props.
don't-
It's interesting. You connected more than Jeff did, which is good, right? Which is good. But my point is, it's not as interesting until you know which of the hedge knights she met. Like 6, right? A lot of them were just like dumb nice guys, right? So
Okay.
yeah, the one that was like kind of sly and looking for Sansa too, and kind of called her out on what her shit was this guy.
I mean, now that you mention it, I do recall that conversation.
I know. I'm pointing it out. So they
Suck
leave.
a dick.
Now they're
Nelson.
alone. And it's interesting. She's like, he kind of implies that the reason he's bringing on these new hedge knights is because of this news that he's got from Oswell on the Merlin King, right? So the Merlin King is his ship. Oswell has just landed with news. To me, the implication is from King's Landing, probably related to his sons.
It's just because he's like, I thought Cersei was going to run amok of her job, but I didn't think it would be this fast.
Yeah, she's fucking it up so fast. It's crazy.
Thought I'd have 5 years, he says.
Yeah, 4 to 5 years to let the seeds grow. He's like, lucky I thrive on chaos.
Chaos is a ladder.
But he says, what little peace and order the 5 kings left us will not long survive the 3 queens, I fear. And she didn't know what he meant by 3 queens, and he didn't choose to explain. Kyle, what do you think he means by 3 queens?
Cersei, Marjorie, and Daenerys would be 3 queens.
Yep.
But also Sansa or Alayne is almost like he's trying to position her to become queen, it feels like.
Sure, but I don't think I don't think it makes sense for him to reference her in this quote like that.
I agree, but like I mean, that's his aspiration, right? Like
sure.
Marcella.
for sure. Yeah,
The other thing,
Marcella,
Jeff,
right.
hold on. Jeff was making fun of what did
We
you
talked
say?
about this already. We had already talked about
Okay,
this.
did we? Okay.
We talked about it last time. That's saying I made fun of Kyle for guessing Sansa was princess in the tower.
Yeah.
But she is a princess. One of our commenters commented Jeff is wrong. She is a princess. She's Rob's sister.
Rob's dead.
Rob's a king.
Rob's dead.
So she is a princess.
Rob's dead.
She's just as much as a princess as like a lot of people in that, and if you look at it that
Yeah.
way. So someone commented Jeff's wrong. She is a princess.
Yeah, Kyle's right. Yeah, hell yeah.
I took that one to the chin. It's fine.
Now I see why Jeff was trying to shut that down with the already.
We already talked about it.
it. All right.
I was right.
I can't edit it out like every time Nelson's wrong.
So in terms of 3 queens, I think Dany's fine, but it's interesting.
Marcella and then Marjorie, I think, would be the other one.
Well, I think Cersei and Marjorie are a given 2 that he's talking about.
Oh, you think those two? Okay.
I think Cersei and Marjorie are for sure 2 of the 3. I might be wrong, but Jeff, would you agree with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're battling right now in King's Landing.
I would say the question is who's the third he's referring to. I think Dany's possible if he knows a lot.
Could be Val.
Val is the queen behind the wall. Maybe if he knows a lot there, but I don't think he'd consider that being.
Who's Val?
Val's Dalla's sister. They call her the princess.
Oh, yeah. Stannis' wife, Selyse. She's the third queen.
Selyse. That's true. I don't think that's who he's on.
I'm just gonna name every queen.
I was thinking Queen of Thorns, even though she's not a real queen. She might be
by name.
She might be one of the ones who's going to wreck things. I think it's possible he might know what happened with Marcella. Right? He seems connected. I think he might know whether he's considering Marcella a queen. I don't know, but could he be considering like
Asha,
Arianna queen? Asha's a good one. I wasn't thinking about Asha, but I think that's just as likely as Arianne. Even though Arianne's not really a queen.
What was Rob's wife name?
Jean. Jean's a queen, still locked up in Riverrun. Jane.
A lot of queens out there.
So a lot, yeah. And I think it's not clear because I think it's a long shot that that Dany is like just the answer. Because even though we might think of her as like the most logical answer, like
she's not over here causing havoc.
Exactly. Even if he knows of her, she's not gonna be here tomorrow, right? So,
yeah.
Moving on.
All right, so
I
got a marriage contract for you. I got a gift. Sansa goes right to the dresses and the jewels, but nope, it's a marriage contract. What you really want? You're gonna marry Harris Hardwood. Harold Harding. Harold Harding.
I'm
already married. I can't do that.
Yeah, big problem for her. Can't do that. I'm already married.
Sansa's married, not Alayne. Couldn't Sansa just be like, "Hey, he never bedded me, right? Like it's not consummated. We could annul this thing right now. Bam."
No.
Why?
A fan has asked George this. He said you need the High Septon. You would need the High Septon for that.
To annul a marriage?
Even an unconsummated marriage, you would need the High Septon to annul.
Okay.
If neither party was dead. Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if that was his answer or part of that was implied in the question, but yeah. So I think there's an interesting, I don't know exactly where it is, but somewhere in here, it seems that Littlefinger is like confident that Tyrion will die. I think because of Cersei. Like he thinks she's going to succeed on this one.
Chop his head off?
It's just a matter of time until Cersei, I forget where it is, but I might have the quote later.
The marriage must needs wait until Cersei is done and Sansa safely widowed. Oh, you do say that.
Okay.
And then Peter put a finger to his lips to his silencer. The dwarf wed Ned Stark's daughter, not mine.
Yeah, okay. This is just a betrothal, is what they're saying, right? This is just the promise of a marriage, and you still have to win him over. But marriage will have to wait till that, right? The marriage will have to wait till Cersei is done and Sansa is safely widowed. I think that's an interesting quote. The reason I put that in my notes is because I think you could read it two ways. Are those two things or one thing? Cersei is done and Sansa is safely widowed is one thing. Cersei being done is what is killing Tyrion, making Sansa widowed. Or Cersei is done as in like Cersei's done as in like out of there, or Cersei's done as in done anymore with something else, or so I don't know, right? Like I think it's very purposely worded like that.
Open-ended, yeah.
Yeah. But that she's like also Waynwood wouldn't marry him against his will, so you have to win this boy over, but he's like, you're a smoke show. You're gonna do it.
You're my daughter, Alayne.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not even a question in this plan.
Yeah. He's like, why would they do this? He's like, well, you're getting a big dowry, even bigger than the other one. He's like, I knew they were in money trouble when I started buying up their debt. We kind of talked about this earlier.
Well, why would I want to marry the heir of Waynwood?
Exactly. Yep.
He's not the heir of Waynwood, my daughter.
He's the heir of the Eyrie.
Yeah, Jeff, let's read this quote. And while we're doing it, actually, Kyle, you read the quote.
Jasper.
Stop. You guys just stop me whenever you want. I'm going to read this quote, answer the slideshow of the family tree, and hopefully it'll work I'll figure it out. If you're listening to the audio, this might be a good time to switch to the YouTube video and jump to the same timestamp, because there hopefully is a cool family tree that illustrates the hair of the heir thing, because it is a stupidly confusing quote. Basically, Alayne says, how is Harry the heir?
Lord Jasper Arryn, begin with him. John Arryn's father, he begot 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter.
Yep, pause. Jasper Aaron, father. John Aaron, son, daughter. 2 sons, daughter. John's one of the sons. There we go. Right?
So is Alice and Ronald?
Yep, those are the siblings of John Aaron.
John was the eldest, so the Erie and the lordship passed to him.
Pause.
Jasper died.
John was the eldest. Jasper died. So gold star is who's the lord. Purple star is who's the heir. Lordship passed to John. Heir becomes Ronald.
Next.
His sister Alice wed Sir Ellis Wainwood, uncle to the present Lady Wainwood.
Yep.
He made a wry phrase. Ellis and Alice, isn't that precious? Lord Jasper's younger son, Sir Ronald Aaron, wed a Belmore girl, but only rang her once or twice before dying of a bad belly. Their son Albert was being born in one bed, even as poor Ronald was dying in another down the hall.
Pause.
Well, hang on. Are you paying close attention, sweetling?
And she says yes. Yes, there was John and Alice and Ronald, but Ronald died. So this is where we're at right now. John, Alice, and Ronald. We learn who Alice wed, and we learn who Ronald wed, but Ronald died as he had a son, Albert, who becomes the heir.
Okay.
Let Nelson cook.
Keep going.
Good. Now, John Aaron married thrice, but his first 2 wives gave him no children. So for long years, his nephew Albert was his heir. Meantime, Ellis was plowing Alice quite dutifully, and she was whelping once a year. She gave him 9 children, 8 girls, and 1 precious little boy, another Jasper, after which she died exhausted.
Pause. A lot just happened there. I know. The family tree changed a lot in that 2 sentences or whatever. She dies. 9 children, I think it says.
Yeah. 8 daughters.
8 daughters, 1 son. The spacing's weird. It'll make sense when the family tree is filled out, obviously. Right. Okay. Keep going.
Boy Jasper, inconsiderate of the heroic efforts that had gone into begetting him, got himself kicked in the head by a horse when he was 3 years old.
See ya.
A pox took 2 of his sisters soon after, leaving 6.
Dead. Bye-bye.
Dead.
Hepatitis, see you later.
The eldest married Sir Dennis Aaron, distant cousin to the Lords of the Erie. There are several branches of House Aaron scattered across the Vale, all as proud as they are penurious, save for the Gulltown Aarons, who had the rare good sense to marry merchants.
Penurious means poor. Look that one up. Game of Thrones word.
They're rich, but less than couth, so no one talks about them. Sir Dennis hailed from one of the poor, proud branches, but he was also a renowned jouster, handsome and gallant and brimming with courtesy. And he had that magic Aaron name, which made him ideal for the eldest Wainwood girl. Their children will be Aarons, and the next heirs to the Vale should any ill befell Albert.
All right, pause. Nothing's actually changed to the family tree here, but let's just talk about what he actually just said.
Yeah, please.
Because it's a long kind of paragraph about random errands. The whole point here is this. What we're looking at the family tree right now is we had Alice Aaron, who you can't see her name because there's a skull emoji.
She's
over it.
dead.
She's dead.
Yeah.
She was married to Ellis Wainwood. All these daughters are something Wainwood. So their children, even if they would be the heir, they would never be named Aaron, which right takes away some legitimacy. So here, if something happened to Albert, the eldest daughter would be heir. Her children would be heir legitimately, right? And they would have the name Aaron. So like, if a daughter of this type of branch marries an Aaron, it helps out. Just naming wise, that's kind of what he is just said. But the whole point was, and they would marry, and their son would become heir if some bad thing happened to Albert, is what Cal just said. Picking up there. Go ahead.
Well, as it happened, Mad King Ares befell Albert. You know that story.
Yeah. So what happened here in the family tree is Albert died, and the heir has changed to the daughter now.
The Mad King murdered him.
And exactly. Sansa knew this story.
He did indeed. And soon after, Sir Dennis left his pregnant Wainwood wife to ride to war. He died during the Battle of the Bells of an excess of gallantry and an axe. When they told his lady of his death, she perished of grief, and her newborn son soon followed.
Dead.
So you're good. So pause. Because kind of big update there, right? So Albert has now died, so it's shifted to the daughter. The daughter, we learn all in that 1 or 2 sentences you just read. Husband went to war, he dies. Mother does have a child, but they both die shortly after. So now the heir is actually the second daughter in this whole deal. But it doesn't matter.
No matter. John Aaron had gotten himself a young wife during the war, one he had reason to believe fertile. He was very hopeful, I'm sure, but you and I know that all he ever got from Lysa was stillbirths, miscarriages, and a poor sweet Robin.
Pause. All right. This is the current situation. Right? This is kind of where we are. I mean, we don't know what the daughters are about to learn some stuff about the daughters, but this is pretty much what we know at the start of the books. Well, I guess a month before the start of the books. The books kind of start with John Aaron's death, but yep, you going, Kyle?
Which brings us back to the 5 remaining daughters of Ellis and Alice. The eldest had been left terribly scarred by the same pox that killed her sisters, so she became a septa. Another was seduced by a sellsword. Sir Ellis cast her out, and she joined the Silent Sisters after her bastard died in infancy. This is awful news if you have a lisp or like have been drinking like me. I'm sure my lisp, Silent Sisters and Ellis and Alice and Succotash. Yeah. But anyway, the third wed the Lord of the Paps. The third wed the Lord of the Paps, but proved barren. The fourth was on her way to the Riverlands to marry some bracken when Burn men carried her off. That left the youngest, who wed a landed knight sworn to the Waynwoods, gave him a son that she named Harold, and perished.
Pause. All right. Current situation. Here we are. Final family tree. John is dead. Robert Lord. We hear what happened to all the daughters. The last daughter married a landed knight. She died herself. She had a son named Harold. He is the heir. This is how Harry is the heir. And Sansa somehow followed all that without the family tree visual. And it was like, oh, I understand.
No fucking way. No way. No way.
She did.
Yeah.
And she's like, I understand. He is the heir, not to
my
Waynwood,
God.
but to the Vale. All right.
Holy shit, right? That was the most important part of this chapter.
We finally got to it.
Yeah, but for the most part, the family tree isn't important. Like, it's like one of those math equations where you end up just crossing everything out and it just like
everything
this
canceled.
this. That's it. It's just Robert
1 equals
and then Harry.
1.
That's the main point. Is Robert is now and Harry is next. That's where it all boils down to. But yeah, it makes sense if you draw the lines out.
That's cool.
All right, so big plan is to walk Sansa out once it's time, marrying Harry in her Santa cloak.
Walk Sansa out, exactly. Sansa,
Yeah.
Sansa hair, Sansa cloak, Stark cloak, all that shit.
And then you can have the Eyrie, the Vale, and the North.
It is weird to hear Littlefinger put the Starks as part of his plan, for sure, right?
This
Like,
Stark.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't seem like anything he would ever care about was the Starks.
I think I don't.
Is this some Catelyn love?
I think it's just to get the North on this side,
Okay.
would be my guess. But I don't.
So you think he's pulling I am in charge kind of. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he is for sure. He's definitely trying to be number one. So
What do you mean?
I didn't ask a question there, but like he's trying to be the king behind the scenes almost.
How does this? I guess I don't understand how does this get him there?
What do you mean? If he's taking the east, the north, he's starting.
He's not taking anything. Like he's kind of in charge right now because Robert's a kid. Harry is young, but 2 or 3 years, Harry will be ruling in his own right. Like
Yeah, but Sansa is like he thinks that these people belong to him. That's the way I see it, at least.
well, a lot of them are actually in debt to him now, which
That's
is
what I'm
important,
saying. Yes.
regardless of who the Lord is. So that's kind of like a different way of having power. The other thing that's interesting about this is like, it's like, oh, my master, like he is so creepy with her. He even says like, oh, isn't it like the last line of the chapter is like, isn't this deserving of another kiss?
A real kid.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
But like his plan is, I'm gonna marry you to someone else. Like it doesn't seem like what
He's a weirdo,
he
dude.
wants.
I don't know.
Yeah, but then like, how does he keep?
He'll kill Harry.
It seems like his long goal ends with diddling Sansa somehow. How does he do that if Sansa?
Okay. See, I didn't go right to that, so I'm sorry.
Take her as his paramour. I don't think he needs to be married to her to do what he wishes.
So you think
That's
his
true.
end game
I think that's
is
a total,
her?
That's a fine answer.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, no, I think what you're saying too, it makes sense. Is like his end game's everything. I think there's a bunch of. I just don't think that the situation he's setting up is clear to me how he ends up with everything.
Yeah, I don't have a good like. This leads to this leads to, like, you know, kind of step by step path here, but he seems like he's setting himself up to become essentially the king behind the scenes. Is what he's trying to do, at least.
Gotcha.
And she is an integral part of that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I was getting at, I guess.
Yeah, gotcha. He's trying to be king behind the scenes. She's like the queen above the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That was the only redeeming thing. I still this chapter was still not fun for me. I thought it was too long for
36 pages.
what it was.
Crazy. It was
yeah,
36
for
pages.
her, it was a lot of her just talking to Sweet Robin,
Yeah, I agree.
telling him come out of his house.
Too long. First part definitely could have been shortened. I think another big part is it's just there's a lot of names that you guys that to you I'm sure mean nothing, and to me they mean nothing till even while I'm taking note. Like it took a while to take notes in this chapter, not just because it was so long, just because like I forget exactly who Gilwood Hunter is.
Yeah,
and I remember that like the hunters had like there were some sons that were trying to kill fathers, so that the next one. And I'm like I just forget which name was which, so I go back and look it up just because we haven't heard about it in forever. Because we hear there's 3 Sansa chapters this whole book, so it's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So far, at least.
I do.
So it's just hard to remember sometimes.
There better not be another. I'll be pissed.
But yeah, so I understand why it's not good. But to me, again, once we get to Randa, a lot of the news she's dropping, there's something to like perk your eyebrows up after. Even it's just like the Dragonstone and River thing. It's like, wait a minute, that's the opposite of what we heard. Or like, so just like every kind of thing is like, what's the point of this? What's the point of this?
It's cool, but not at the same time, because it was like, man, this is. I don't want to say bad news, but incorrect news or whatever. That's the way it felt to me.
Yeah, or is it Miranda lying, or who knows what, right?
Who's giving us the news? Where's the source?
Yeah, right. That's a good point, Jeff. We don't know. You'd want to know that. So cite it. But all right, cool. Well, we'll see Kyle the next one for.
I didn't look.
Brienne.
It is Brienne.
Wow, guess who got another one? We tricked you. Wow, Kyle, you're so dumb.
Did you trick me? I think I
thought,
knew that.
I think you thought that Brienne was done. You thought it was a possibility. I don't know if you committed to it. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but you said it was a possibility.
All right.
Tell you guys this one is about half the length of the last chapter we just did, so that's good. We'll see you guys in that one for Brienne 8.
Brienne 8.
I should have let Jeff guess.
You didn't let me guess.
Bye, Kyle. See you in the next one. See the rest of you guys in the spoiler section.
Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you on the next one for Brienne 8. Ooh, big one, too. Nice big one and a short one. Gotta love that.
Jamie!
All right, on to the spoil section. Jeff, what you got? Do you have anything that's not mine? Don't steal mine right away.
I'm not. I'm looking at yours.
One of yours, I could tell. My first one, you wanted to go for in the non-spoiler. I could see it. Now I was gonna tell you to scroll to the spoiler section, but I didn't want to hint that it was a spoiler.
It, but yeah.
It also might not have been a spoiler because
well, hold on. I didn't say that he didn't kiss her.
You didn't say anything. You didn't say anything bad, but I could tell by like the way
pointed
you were
it out.
looking. You were like. I don't know if you did.
Yeah.
You were close to, but I don't know if you did.
No. I think I played it off like.
And again, this is one that I could see not being a spoiler because again, it's just reading a quote that we've already read. It just obviously like Kyle wouldn't.
We've
remember
obviously dived into the quote of she sang, he left his quote or his cloak.
When you say we have a lot in the spoiler sections.
In the spoiler section, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We probably read it in the non-spoiler, but just didn't stop to be like, hey, he didn't. How many times now has she thought about the kiss?
Only
She's thought
once
about
before.
It in Alayne 1 or like.
I think Sansa wanted this book, yeah.
Of this book, right. So, yeah. So, let's just talk about. Are you just bringing it up again because it happened?
Well, one of the theories I saw on it actually, I think since we've talked about it last was and this is pretty dark, but like could Joffrey have come and raped her and she just like mentally blocked that out, but is conflating the memories. So
I mean, it's possible, I guess. You would need a psychiatrist to dig into it.
Because she thinks about the kiss twice in this chapter. Once she talks about it with the bloody cloak, he left me a bloody cloak. In the second time, when Miranda says, "Do you know what happens in a marriage bed?" and she had thought of Tyrion and the time Sandor kissed her,
Right.
which, so some people think that maybe Joffrey, because Joffrey had like threatened to come and rape her, like, "I'll come and show you what happens in a marriage bed." Some people think that maybe he did, and she's blocking it out and conflating that memory. And there's some crossover because there was a bloody sheet.
It's a wild.
I think it's wild too. I don't know if I believe it, but it's an interesting theory that I'd never heard of before that I kind of stumbled upon. I think
I don't know if I don't believe that it could be possible, but there's just nothing to like pull.
Yeah, there's nothing that points to it exactly.
Yeah,
except for the fact that like people have asked George like, "What's up with Sansa remembering this?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's an unreliable narrator. She doesn't remember this correctly." It's like, well, why?
Yeah,
it's like there has to be a reason for that, and maybe Sandor shows back up, but like I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay.
If Sandor doesn't show back up, then there has to be another reason for it, and that is another reason that could make it matter without him showing back up. I think there's a chance he does show back up. I've also heard theories. I think I've said to you before, how does he show back up? It seems like he's in kind of a good place for his story to end, but people have said like, well, what if the Quad Isle just gets raided? Like it's been not raided so far, but what if it gets raided soon? Then like, yeah, he would probably
be on the run again.
On the run, flip the switch, want to revenge the people. Like if the elder brother died, he would want to revenge the elder. Like that's what happens in a show, right?
Avenge.
So yeah, avenge. Exactly. So
all right. So the big thing from actually going through it with Kyle, the rumors that River Run has yielded, but Dragonstone and Storm's End haven't. Is it a mistake or because River Run's about to yield? River
Run does yield. We learned that in this book. Yep. The Dragonstone hasn't yielded. It's hard to tell whether it's just a timeline thing, like they heard about. Like we don't know exactly the timeline that Loras went to Dragonstone versus what Jaime's doing at River Run. Jaime might be ahead of where we are in Cersei's chapters. You know what I mean? So timeline wise, it might make sense that she heard. It's just hard to tell.
Takes over Dragonstone, right? Doesn't Griffin come back to take over Dragonstone? Or something
Griffin
like
takes over Storm's End.
Oh,
or probably around this time, probably. But that's all Dance of Dragons stuff. But yeah, Storm's End does fall around the same time. I think it's around the time Mace leaves, which is Ren's Cersei's getting arrested, which is around this time, right? So again, in timeline
doesn't matter.
Again, I haven't been doing a super great job. I've been following the one online, but I haven't trusted that one a ton recently. So it's hard to tell exactly. They realize that
it doesn't matter either.
Well, they just said things that don't make sense. So it's close, but it's not exact.
So that's what I was curious. Like, obviously, Akala thinks it's just a mistake, but River Run's about to yield. But it doesn't make sense that Dragonstone.
That could still be some sort of lie. I think we don't know enough to know if Dragonstone actually yielded. Again, it's one of the things that.
So then, do you think that there's a possibility that Loras is just chilling, like he's not actually dying?
Well, that would if it hasn't. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I always thought if there was some sort of lie involved with that, it's that they did take over Dragonstone, but that Loras didn't get as hurt as they're saying. That he got hurt, but not as hurt as they're saying, and he's actually kind of fine. Even though they're reporting that he's dead. But that still implies that Dragonstone was taken. Kyle thought that what his thing was, maybe they just said, "Oh yeah, we took it," but really they just sent the Red Line fleet away.
They just said, "Fuck it,"
and just left. So that kind of lends to maybe more this is what they're saying here. So I don't know. I think it's unclear.
Interesting for sure. All right, last
one thing Kyle was wondering on. One thing I think is interesting. Kyle was wondering at the beginning of the chapter is he thinks there's no more Sansa chapters. Do you remember? Are there any more Sansa? There aren't any in this book. I'll tell you that. Are there any Sansa chapters in Dance?
I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, no, there's not.
But there is a Winds of Winter Sansa chapter.
I didn't.
Alayne chapter.
It doesn't matter to me.
You obviously haven't read it, but in that chapter, the Waynwoods are showing up.
That book doesn't even exist.
There's a tourney going on at the Gates of the Moon, and the Waynwoods, including Harry the Heir, are showing up, and Sansa is welcoming them. Yep. That is the Winds of Winter Alayne chapter. I don't know if anything surprising happens in it. She does kind of win over Harry. It's kind of the main thing, I guess. But yeah.
That book doesn't even exist. That chapter's changed.
It will one day, don't worry. Last point on this one. That I had Sweet Sleep, and I think we talked about most.
No, I have the last one. It's called Sweet Sleep.
Well, I think we talked about most of it with Kyle, though, right? So
yeah.
Poisoning Robert.
They're trying to kill him.
And I even said like the only like main theory I think about this is that Robert is somehow magically.
I think it's kind of lame if they just kill him off. TBH.
There are more hints to like why he could be magical, like parallels to Bran. Bran in Dance of Dragons ends up on a weirwood throne, like with Brendan in like a weirwood chair thing, and the seat of the Eyrie is a weirwood throne. He says, "Fly. I'm gonna make you fly. I'm gonna make you fly." Even in the Winds of Winter chapter, he tells people he's gonna make them fly, where there is no moon door. And there's this whole like fly or die thing with Bran. Like I've said, I think I told you before. Like people think that maybe Sweet Robin's getting similar dreams where he's getting the fly imagery. Yeah, and then the whole he's just tanking Sweet Sleep, no problem. So
I would rather him be able to tank Sweet Sleep than just to die for Littlefinger's plot as well. Kind of what Kyle said.
Yeah, I hope there's something, whatever it is, whether he's super magical or whether he can just take Sweet Sleep for some random reason. I hope there's something more to Sweet Robin than he's just like a boy waiting to die.
Pawn, literally, a pawn that moved. One
I was watching a Preston Jacobs. I don't remember. I wish I remember which video it was, but I was watching a Preston Jacob things recently where he was mentioning that he was, again, sometimes I think he reads maybe a little too much into it. He was saying that when Ned died, Arya got her hair cut right away, and he was like her patriarchal protector, and then she was kind of off on her own, and she had to figure it out herself as she lost her hair. Same with Dany. She had Khal Drogo. Khal Drogo dies. She loses her hair at the same time, and then she's off on her own to figure out her own way. He said something about like Catelyn, when she dies, her last thought is she gets her hair grabbed, right? Because he pulls her head back and slices her neck, and she thinks, "Not my hair. Ned always loved my hair." Well, then she dies, but then she comes back, and she's kind of on her own now without Robb, right? Robb was kind of her patriarch that she was riding the coattails of. So there's this whole like thought of like losing your hair makes a woman go off on her own and become like more independent, I guess, without like her male counterpart. And Sweet Robin is here. And since his mom died,
and his hair is growing,
he won't let his hair be cut. So he's kind of getting the feminine attribute since he lost his matriarchal counterpart. And now like you guys were even mentioning, Sansa's kind of filling that like mother role for her. He doesn't seem to have any like relationship aspirations with Sansa. He's even saying like, "Oh, she's my friend, not your friend." Well, in the Winter chapter, I think he does realize something's going on with her and Harry the heir. He says, "No, you can't marry Harry. You're going to marry me, and we can sleep in the same bed every night," type thing. Yeah. So that kind of evolves over time. But I think, again, I don't know. Sometimes I think Preston's reading too much into it. It does seem like there's some point to him having the long hair. And now that you point out that they do seem to die with like their opposite sex counterpart, you know what I mean? Like it does seem, I could see it fitting. You know what I mean? Like him getting his long hair. It would be
cool to see if Robin just doesn't die from Sweet Sleep and just ruins Littlefinger's plans by like insisting on marrying Sansa.
So the next thing I have that I think we should talk about is what's the plan? What's Littlefinger's plan? I was kind of poking holes in Kyle's thoughts at the end. Like, how does what Littlefinger's doing now end up with him winning? Do you have any thoughts on this? I was thinking about it a little bit.
Other than just like grabbing land, right? Like he's just getting more and more allies, right? And if it becomes the strength is where in the swords type of it, but
I'm gonna try and lead you to the same thought that I have, and let's do it the same way we used to do proofs in math. Let's walk back to front. Okay. Littlefinger wants to be in charge of everything. I think the weird thing about him marrying Sansa to Harry is I think he definitely wants to be legitimately married to Sansa Stark at the end of the day. So him marrying,
I believe it. I mean, he's trying to tongue kiss her.
Yeah.
As her dad.
And Kyle's saying like, oh, he could be like the behind the scenes still diddling her. Like, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I think he wants to be, I'm in charge of everything with Sansa by my side. So how does him marrying Harry help this? The question in my theory is Harry doesn't seem needed in my theory. My theory seems you could do it with just Robert. But
marry her to Robin?
Yeah, my theory I think could work with Robin. But so, okay, Littlefinger's going to marry her to Harry, reveal her as Sansa at the same time. Okay, at that point, we're going to have Sansa Stark and Harry Harding are married. They're a couple, and between the two of them, they own Winterfell and the Eyrie. Okay, how does we get from that to Littlefinger? Let's not even say owns the realm. Just how does Littlefinger be married to Sansa and own Winterfell and the Eyrie? How do we get Harry out and Littlefinger in?
Well, he's already got Harrenhal, right? And he's the River Lord.
Yep.
How to get Harry out?
So what happens if we just kill Harry? Does the veil go to Sansa?
No, it goes to her heir.
Now you're on what I'm thinking. I think this is kind of the point of the complicated Aaron family tree, because in that we learn a lot that if the husband dies and there's a daughter and there's no child, it doesn't matter. But if there's a child, then that becomes the heir, right? So Sansa marries, they're cool. If Harry just dies right away, problem. But if they have a child, then Harry dies right away. Now Sansa is still in charge of Winterfell and the Eyrie, even though she has nothing to do with the Eyrie, right? Just like Lysa was. Lysa was in charge of the Eyrie, even though she had not.
And
she's from Riverrun.
Then Littlefinger marries Sansa.
And then Littlefinger marries Sansa, exactly, just like he did with Lysa. And then he's in charge of the Vale, just like he was in charge of the Vale when he married Lysa. But
only
with
if
Littlefinger,
Robin's dead.
Well, yeah, this is all after Robin's dead, right? Like they kind of started with Sansa and Harry. But I don't think Littlefinger would want Sansa and Harry to have a child, because then the whole point, eventually it passes to their
it's
child.
What's happening right now. That's why it's the protector of the Vale and not the Lord of the Vale.
But what if the child isn't Harry's? I think that's where it gets, you got to think creepily.
Yeah, but how do you prove that?
No. I think Littlefinger wouldn't want to prove that. I think he would get Sansa and Harry married. I think Kyle's kind of right. For a short time, he would try and sleep with Sansa, get her pregnant with his child, and then kill Harry, and then pretend like it's Harry's child, and then
wouldn't he just prefer that it actually be his child, though?
Yeah, but the Lord, then he can't own the Vale. He needs Sansa to be pregnant with Harry's child for the Lord. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So I think that's, I don't know. The thing is, it could work with Robert, though. Why not just marry Sansa to Robert? The thing is, in the Winds of Winter chapter, they do kind of talk about that. When Robert's like,
I mean, the thing is probably 'cause they don't think Robert can spill his seed into Sansa, or it would take too long.
Well, again, you don't. Littlefinger wouldn't want Sansa to get pregnant with him. You just need to make the lords think so. Robert brings us up in.
I get what I'm saying is like nobody believes that he could, right?
Yeah,
He's too sickly too.
So Robert brings us up in the Winds of Winter chapter. He's like, "Why? I don't want you to marry Harry. I want you to marry me." And she's like, "We can't be married, even if we both wanted to. None of the lords of the Vale would allow my dad to marry me to you. It would look like he's overreaching. I'm a bastard daughter. You're a high lord. We can't be married." Harry kind of is just the son of a landed knight, right?
Yeah.
So he is more
of a eighth daughter.
Exactly, of the eighth daughter and a landed knight, not like the eighth daughter and a Baratheon, or the eighth daughter and like just like some guy, right? So, that's the excuse Sansa gives Robert, and while it is kind of a bullshit excuse, because even though he is just that, he is still the heir, and everyone knows he's the heir. It does still kind of make sense why. The other thing is, if since Littlefinger's in charge of Robert, if he just married Sansa to Robert, that's just 100% him doing whatever he wants, and the lords wouldn't be okay with that. But him marrying Sansa to Harry isn't just him. Lady Anya Waynwood, who's a High Lord of the Vale,
is on board.
Is half of the is half the deal. And she agreed with it.
Yeah,
so
she was a declarant too, right?
Exactly. She's one of the original opposers. So I think that's why maybe that's the only. For my whole theory of Sansa's trying, Littlefinger wants her to marry, then he wants Harry gone after there's a child in the way.
He definitely wants Harry gone. He doesn't want anybody around.
I think the step 2, though, that people don't think about is once there's a child. Once Sansa has a child, you can get Harry out of the way, and Sansa's still in charge of the Vale without Harry.
If it's a boy.
That's a good point. If it's a boy. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's all I had.
All right. Let's wrap her up.
See you guys in the next one for Brienne 8.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye.